Because I was watching The Shop last night, and then they asked Jack Harlow, which I can't believe I'm like, wow, Jack Harlow said something smart, where he was like, when I'm making an album, I don't listen to anyone else, or like when I get home, I don't want to listen to anything because it's like you're around the shit all day, and that's kind of what I've been like with some pods, where I mean, I'm just episodes behind on. It's like I'm not stopped listening to them. It's just, or I'll listen to the same pod and just like know the rhythm of it. And like that, it's mainly like in the sense of like for BRP, you don't want to, even though all the everyone on like sister brother shows, family shows, we all fuck with each other, but I don't want to be in the habit of like repeating what someone might have said, without or like take a point and like reiterate it because someone should be listening to that show. It's always the tough thing. Like I could be doing that without knowing it either when we do BRP, but that's what you're gonna always happen. But like, it's like I don't want to listen to Black Announcetable when they're probably gonna be saying the same thing. It's just when you have a different take on something, I'd rather listen to it after some weeks have passed, go back to it like, oh, I did say that then, or like, oh, they made a point at that time different than me. It's just when you're listening to people that you fuck with give their takes or insight, when you're trying to give your own the next day or the day after, it's like, oh, I just said that, or I'm about to say that. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
What's crazy is like the take cycle. It's always the same thing. That's why when you and I get together and we'll talk about wrestling, it's just to talk about older stuff or something more that we can really break down in a way. What do you think?
Yeah, with me, I still listen to others because I don't listen to myself on the podcast. Like to this day, I think the only podcast I want to go back and listen to without, we're not burying anybody at all, as far as I go.
Oh, no.
Because it's like, it's so much. No, I'm saying as far as me and the work I do, I never go back and listen, but it's one episode.
I've never listened to our show at all. I've never heard a single episode of our show.
Yeah, no. Because it's like, it's one of those things where I was there. So it's like, yo, I was there. So the thing is, I was thinking of going back and listen to that episode we did earlier this year when we talked about Muhammad Hassan. That's legit the only thing I want to listen to.
Well, that's a great episode. Again, shouts to Eve, shouts to Cody, Black Announcetable. And yeah, see what we were doing then. We were all talking about shit that we grew up and watched. We weren't trying to give like the same take of like what occurred that week. And it's always the shitty thing just because everyone's making content out because there's so much content to comment on. And you're bound to comment on the same thing someone else is. It's just one of those things, like I said, like I won't listen right away. I'll kind of build it up in the queue and then listen. And like that. That's why, like you just said that you were on Public Enemies this week. Shouts to them, of course. And you're like, oh, you haven't listened. It's not that I don't want to listen to you. Like I've gone back and listened to old BRPs. One to like get clips for the show and all that and kind of hear like what the show was like before. But at first I listened to the very first BRP I listened to like 4 times straight, pretty much. Like I was just so hyped on it. And all that. But then like I think the second one I didn't go back and listen to just because I was like, oh, my voice is terrible. And you get like insecure about that and like, oh, I cut that person off or et cetera and all that. But it's just an interesting thing, kind of like the inside baseball of like podcasting.
Yeah, it's like you never go back to your work. Whereas, Lil Wayne said he only listened to himself.
Mm-hmm. Some people will do that and like not listen to anyone else. It's people have their own methods. Like you just said, like some actors will say like, I'll never watch a movie I'm in. One, because they'll have the mindset of like, I'll go back and critique what I was doing, or like I lived it. That was the whole like CM Punk Undertaker comment, because I listened to those pods where he's like, Vince McMahon's like, have you watched the match back? And CM Punk's like, why? And Vince McMahon's like, it was a great match. You should be proud of it. And CM Punk's like, I was just out there fucking living it. Why would I go and watch it? I know what happened. And Vince McMahon's got so like, no, you should appreciate what you did. Like that's a work of art. If someone said that to me about like a certain pod, like if they said it about the Muhammad or someone, oh, like have you gone back and like listen to that? I'd be like, I wouldn't be like, no, fuck you. I'd just be like, no, I just would be like, so insecure and nitpicky about mine, even though everyone on that episode was great from what I recall. We were all dying and about the Muhammad Hassan part and the Kurt Angle, Big Show, Tori Wilson angle when he had the leg like Joe Swanson. That's like you and I can remember moments like that with the great guests that we've had over the course of the show. I mean, the episode, and sometimes you'll get done with an episode and be like, which is always the worst feeling. Like there have been a few where I'm like, that wasn't too good. And then there have been a good amount where I was like, oh, that shit was fucking amazing as soon as we were done. With Vin, with Suku, with Black Variant, X and Van, where it's just like, we just put out like a legit great episode.
Mm-hmm.
It's just always the thing. I mean, some people, I think, Eve is always like sharp and Shiren's iron, and he, I think, is someone that will go back and listen to learn to what to improve. But like, kind of how you break down yourself in podcasting, if you do or don't, is always an interesting thing. Because again, you do so many. I also do BRP, but I think again, just based off our personalities, it's kind of like, why would I want to do that in the sense of like keep moving forward in a way. And it's also like, I'm not going to forget what I said, kind of. I mean, unless someone reminded me of something crazy that I had said a few episodes on this show, I'd be like, no, that sounds like something I would say.
Yo, what type of weed was Matt Riddle smoking when he made that quote?
Oh, the one today about Roman Reigns?
Yeah, he might be smoking crack. That ain't no weed. Weed don't make you say stupid shit like that.
Well, don't forget, he is high 24/7, so his brain cells are gone. It's like, remember when D Zamero talked about Lil Wayne in, was it 2017 or 2018 when he had the comments about Black Lives Matter, all that, and then Zamero was like, this man wakes up every morning, eats pills for breakfast, and washes it down with cough syrup. We don't need to, like, you shouldn't be paying attention to what this guy's saying in the context. Like, it comes with an asterisk. With Matt Riddle, it's like, yeah, anything Matt Riddle says, remind you that he's always like, so right here, bro, like, I hate hearing stoners talk who are like real stoners where it's like every other word's like stringing a whole sentence is impossible. Yeah, it's the worst thing.
Bruh, I don't give a fuck what type of karate, kung fu, kung pao. I don't give a fuck. You gonna need it all, bruh. The kumata, the kumate, whatever he said off the Boondocks. You gonna need all that, bruh. It ain't enough karate in the world to beat the Samoan up. One, look, it ain't enough, bruh. You gonna need a bunch of Shaolin masters to beat him. I was about to say Shaolin monks, but masters. You gonna need everybody. You're going to need the ghost of Bruce Lee to beat up a Samoan.
Yeah, if he had said this about like kind of anyone else that didn't have either Samoan lineage or like a shoot background, like him saying that about Kurt Angle, like, nah, I think Kurt Angle would still probably get the better of you, given that he won the gold medal with a broken neck.
He can't even move his neck, pause. And he taking that man down, pause.
But let's say he was saying this about like 2004 era JBL, I would have been like, yeah, that makes sense. Like, yeah, again, this guy who's like who bragged about being a tough guy and then got his ass kicked in the brawl for all, and also makes like the big deal about being a bully. Like, yeah, it's because you're insecure about being a tough guy because you're not. But Ron Simmons, like, yeah, I bet if he was like Ron Simmons would fuck someone up.
Another person. Ain't enough karate in the world, bro. You been trained for 30 years. You got 20 black belts. Certain people.
Did he say that about Ahmed Johnson when he kicked him in the ribs? And then did he say, I'm going to fuck him up?
Yeah, did we just talk about this? I think, last week on the Show Your Work.
On the Watch Along. Yeah, on the Watch Along. He said, I'm going to fuck him up.
Ahmed Johnson. I'll look for it. It was on, I think, Stone Cold's podcast. Like when it was just like a podcast and Mark Henry was on there, he's talking about his history. He was like, Ahmed Johnson, because everybody buries Ahmed Johnson. Ahmed Johnson apparently
he either hurt himself or everyone else.
Yeah, so he kicked the shit out of Ron Simmons in the liver. So Ron was just like out for a minute because obviously your liver bruised. So he said when he was in the car, he got healthy. Being Ron Simmons with Mark Henry, he was like, either he said I'm gonna fuck him up or I'm gonna beat him up, whatever. It don't matter. If Ron Simmons say he's gonna fuck you up,
Ron Simmons would say I'm gonna fuck you up.
And I ain't never heard Ron Simmons cuss, so it don't matter what if he say I'm just gonna hurt that boy. Hey, bro, it's a rap for you. It don't matter what he say.
Act like you got a goddamn choice.
I mean, the Rock got a lot of stuff for Ron Simmons if you want to keep it a buck. So maybe.
Yeah.
Maybe in real life, Ron Simmons is Hobbs.
Well, that's the whole thing. We'll get to because again, this is the post-Fast Summer show. Banks versus Davis. Episode count doesn't matter. We just do we were another name at one point. Episode count doesn't count. Well, that doesn't count. Doesn't matter because we'll get to the year anniversary in just a matter of weeks. That's more important than anything. You could have like 4 episodes done in 1 year, but like still doing the show for a year, pretty much weekly. And there was a time when we did. Remember that like 3-4 week stretch we did almost 2 episodes in a week. There was a lot to talk about at that time because nothing was coming out, so it was just news, and then we would come up with like topics that we'd always want to talk about, which we'll get back to. That's the whole point of the show, is to say what we're going to be doing in the future and also our takeaways from the Fast Summer journey. But that's when I had. Do you think Luke Hobbs was a good cop? Bill Simmons and Shea Serrano talked about this, I think, in Fast 5. But now that we got to see it overall, including Fast 6, Furious 7, Fate of the Furious, and Hobbs a Shot, is Luke Hobbs a good lawman or no?
Yeah, because he is the lawman. That's exactly how black cops be for the most part. I'm sorry, Simone.
Don't forget, he lets them go at the end of Fast 5.
I've never seen a small cop, so yeah, let's just stick with the black cop. Or
no. He was almost a white cop. He was almost a mixed cop in Fast 5. Over the course of the franchise, he becomes Samoan, as we detailed every week. Because when it gets Hobbs and Shaw, he's just Samoan, as they would say. But in Fast 5, he's talking like he's got an accent. He's almost like Steve Austin meets Undertaker. Bob Biker.
Guess
Undertaker.
What? If y'all haven't heard Hobbs and Shaw, the watch along, I said Hobbs and Shaw 2 is going to take place in Nigeria. He can't go back to Samoa.
No, he will. He'll find a way.
No, you got to go either where your pops is from, which is Nova Scotia, whatever, up north in Canada, or you got to go to Nigeria, the motherland. You get Hobbs and Shaw 2, the motherland edition. Coming to America, they was in Africa. Hobbs and Shaw 2.
They were in Rick Ross's house in Atlanta. That's where they were.
But in the movie, they in some part of Africa that exists.
Yeah, Zamunda.
Does Zamunda exist? Oh,
yeah.
Hell no. Zamunda exists? Yo, Africa is a big ass continent.
Zamunda isn't real.
I know. That's what I was saying. I was like, hold on, that shit can't be real. I know it's a huge ass continent. You never seen Belly, right?
I have. I told you I've seen it once.
Okay. God bless you, because I don't like that movie. But besides
no, it's terrible.
Now
it's probably got the best 20 minutes of all time, and then the rest of it's god awful.
Yeah, I just like I forgot the man's name, but the Jamaican man in there, infamous reggae singer, R.I.P. to him. But yeah, I just like his sings. I am the real Dun Dada. That's what I like. But now it's talked about we got to go back to Africa.
Yeah, they're saying that's Hobbs and Shaw too.
No, they're gonna go of Africa though. It's going to Nigeria. They're not going to Zimbabwe. They're going the Congo. They're going everywhere, I believe.
Well, if they track down Cypher, they're going to South Africa.
Absolutely.
Don't forget Jay, and then so like
What was
you're
this?
bringing Jason Statham to Deckard Shaw to Nigeria. That's what you're doing. That's what you're writing for Hobbs and Shaw too.
Bruh, other than space, where else can they go? Because I think they might go to space, actually.
I was coming up. Well, I mean, I've kind of come up with an idea that was more for Fast 9 in terms of a Jacob Dom showdown where what is it, Mulholland Drive or Mulholland Falls in Southern California, where there's
In
like
LA, it's Mulholland Drive.
yeah, but isn't
But if
Mulholland
you're talking
Falls
about
still?
sounds familiar, I'm not too knowledgeable about that, but that sounds familiar. There, of course, you know about Mulholland Drive. That's in Beverly Hills, but
yeah, but Mulholland Falls I think is like the cliffs and like the road onto is like near it's basically like almost Oceanside, I believe, or something like that. Like there would have been a dope sequence of like they're on a road like that where like it's just pouring rain, the rain's cascading down, and they're driving in the rain and like having a gunfight, and then at some point they just fight with the cars. It's almost a combination of like in the movie Two Guns with Denzel Washington and Mark Wahlberg, horrible, but they do have a decent car fight, and then they get like right next to each other and then have a good kind of hand fight. And we're like trying to fight over a gun. I think it was something similar for John Cena and Vin Diesel to do, where like it would just be pouring rain because fight sequences always work in the rain. That was the only good thing about the Rise of Skywalker is when they were fighting on that ship in the rain and the ocean was splashing all over. Well, it was more of the ocean than the rain. Or the final Matrix movie where it's Neo versus Mr. Agent Smith. Rain always intensifies action scenes. So my whole thing would have been like they're driving, sliding all over the place, crashing, just like having a gunfight while driving, and then it leads to them going to the racetrack where the dad had the accident, and then probably Vin Diesel will like, on this ground, our father died. And it's gonna be the same place where I kill you, and then boom, they have like a fight. They throw each other through the fucking building or whatever. I was just trying to come up with a crazy idea to make that movie better, but it's impossible to do that now.
I didn't kill my wife. I don't care. That's the only rain scene I like, bro.
Well, that's in the sewer, and then the waterfall at the end. But is it raining the whole time, or is it just because he's wet from again? They're in the sewer, and then he drop what? No,
it's just that. That's it. But I feel like they had a rain. Like I haven't seen that in years, but like I was saying, like most action movies, or I was thinking about it, most action movies from the 90s, they always had some type of rain sequence.
Mm-hmm. Point Break, the final scene's in the rain when he's like, I tracked you all over the world. I knew you'd never miss this, Bodie. Again, that's Point Break, which is the first Fast and the Furious movie, essentially. But again, we're kind of saying goodbye to Fast and Furious for now. We'll resume 2023 when Fast 10 comes out. Another takeaway. I know who you're going to say, but who is the real MVP of this franchise? I know your answer, though, but just you said it over the course of the saga, but say it again, just for clarification.
No, I was joking. Even though the ninth movie, he was the MVP and you agree with me. Shit, bro. It might actually be Hobbs, bro. The Rock kind of say this franchise, I ain't going to hold you.
No, that's the whole thing is that The Rock elevates it to the status it's at now in Fast 5. Is that besides it being a heist movie and changing the genre, is that they had someone to like legit go after them and have like a big scene in terms of Vin Diesel versus The Rock in a fight scene. But as you and I pointed out, Furious 7 is when he could have wrapped it up because the real MVP is Paul Walker. He has the best reactions and is part of the best scenes in The Fast and the Furious. He's a cop. Me, I'm a cop. You are the cops. Just people calling him a cop or him calling himself a cop is what makes that movie great. But also when Vin Diesel talks to him about his father in Fast 5, Too Fast, Too Furious, forget about it, and it's over some woman, always.
Hmm.
Again, Fast 6 kind of gets a good solo mission for a bit, then comes back and helps out. And then Furious 7, him versus Tony Jaa. He's really been the MVP the whole time to me. And as you and I pointed out, the final 3 films, Fate of the Furious, Hobbs and Shaw, Fast 9, F9, Fast Saga, whatever you want to call it, it lacks something. And you could see in the Fate of the Furious them trying to put Scott Eastwood in the token white guy role, and as much as I like Scott Eastwood, it works, but it doesn't work in the sense of Paul Walker spot being taken. It's like trying to replace Michael Jordan. Well, I mean, maybe that's too blasphemous. But you know what I mean? Like the 99 Bulls had a tough task following that season.
Mm-hmm.
Do you kind of agree
it's hard after you have,
or no?
Yeah. No, because he is sort of, he's not the foundation that it was placed upon. But
he was, because he did 1 and 2. Again, Vin Diesel didn't do the first 2. Vin Diesel had to come back to the 4. So, and he only does the last 3 minutes of Tokyo Drift.
But that's the focal point of it. Yeah, but
I think Vin Diesel tried to make himself the focal point. Is what it was, because he got to be the producer as well.
Yeah, but the movie doesn't go unless he's there, because you got to remember around that time he was part of Swordfish. I think Pitch Black just came out 2 years prior to that, which was 1999.
You're thinking of something else.
You sure? The movie with Hugh Jackman?
Vin Diesel's not in that.
Let me see.
Yeah.
The movie with Halle Berry? Oh, Boiler Room. I'm sorry, Boiler Room.
Yeah.
There you go.
The completely different movie.
Exactly. But I was like, okay, it's around that time, because Boiler Room was 98, 97, somewhere around that. So, but he had hair at that point. Oh,
and I think that's a movie that's
Nia Long was
and released later, because they have Ben Affleck for a scene. I haven't seen it, but I know like Ben Affleck shows up and gives like the Glenn Ross speech. But I think that was a movie that was like filmed 1 year and then released like a year or 2 later, after everyone had more recognition.
Oh yeah, by the way, check that out. Nia Long was in that movie too.
But anyway, back to what you're saying about Vin Diesel, because like you're right, he says I'm coming back, but I think he makes himself the focal point by saying like, I'll return, but I want to have input. Whereas like Paul Walker in his personality, which is California Surfer Bra, is like, it's just a job. It's just something I'm doing. Like, I don't care if I got the biggest role or I'm having a hand in what's going on. I'm just here to show up so I can go back home, do some stuff that we're not going to acknowledge, even though he was kind of like, doing some shit like that. But yeah, I mean, Vin Diesel made himself the focal point, and his return, him in the Tokyo Drift trailer, made everyone like, oh, Vin Diesel's coming back. It was a lot bigger than Paul Walker being the star of Too Fast, Too Furious.
Right, because I think with Paul, it was just more so after the second movie and, decisions were made after Tokyo Drift and all that. When he came back, he was probably more so like, yeah, whatever role I play in this entire franchise, obviously I'm second lead, but in a metaphorical sense, it's kind of like, all right, I'll just play my role in any way, even if I'm third, fourth string, and we start to see that.
Yeah, and that's what I think what makes him the MVP is that he doesn't really, after like Fast 5, as like I said, in Fast and Furious 6, as we broke down then, it's really the ultimate team movie. Everyone gets a chance to shine at multiple points. And then as you keep going on, you see Vin Diesel do the Russell Westbrook. I'm going to get all the points, all the assists, all the rebounds. And then it's almost like hurrying the team to a detriment as we get to Fate of the Furious, when he is overacting to save his life, even though you and I enjoy it because we love overacting and just the unintentional comedy of it. And him maybe being self-aware, but I won't give him that credit. I think he knows that he wants to be a serious actor, but thinks that people actually think these scenes are good. Like, oh wow, Vin Diesel really like stepped up. Like, no, it's like Vin Diesel is a bad actor and he's showing it by like overdoing it.
Right, exactly. And it was just him, putting too much dip on the chip when it came to a lot of the scenes, as we've been quoting. My doing, my doing.
My
We've been
doing when
quoting
his
that a
little voice
lot.
showed up.
For what? Suffer for what? Or
What?
whatever he said.
I got no choice.
What did she say in Fast? I got no choice. Like, so, it just, he started booking himself more so. Like, I really felt like he was Triple H in a sense as these movies progress. Like, all right, he's going to keep booking yourself over and over and over in these parts that you don't need to be a part of.
But like you said, and you were right to pick Dwayne Johnson as the MVP as well, because he's just like how he was in wrestling. He was okay to put guys over because he was still going to shine. He still shines in Fast 5, even though Vin Diesel probably wins that fight, split decision. Fast 6, again, he's playing more or less the sidekick to Dom in that movie, even though it's a partnership that hasn't been fully realized, just because I'm only helping you because you have something I want. And that the whole point of them at the end being like the macho, I never thought I'd trust a criminal. And he's like, I never thought I'd work with a cop or whatever they say. It's like, oh, whoa, machismo and all that. And then Furious 7, Dwayne Johnson's schedule was so busy that he can only have 2-3 scenes, and he picks it with Jason Statham for one. Not a bad choice, because he saw if I team up with this guy, we got in the chemistry we have right now, that'll lead to something in the future, which is again more important in Fate of the Furious, where they have a majority of their scenes together, because Vin and Dwayne Johnson, I think, were probably on set 1 or 2 days during the course of that movie. The heat was real.
Mm-hmm.
Which is always the funny thing is when you can tell people don't like each other, either after the fact or knowing going in, is seeing how those films were shot. And the whole rumor about the iconic scene in Heat with De Niro and Pacino. People always thought they were never at that diner at the same time. There were stand-ins for one guy and then a stand-in for another guy when it was the other guy's turn. But Pacino later confirmed no, we were both there. There's 2 cameras. That way, neither of us felt like we were being, sidelined for the other guy to shine more. And if you almost watch that scene, because it's one of the greatest scenes in cinema history, I haven't counted it, but I bet it's probably a legit split shared screen time in terms of the amount of cutting it does back and forth, because that's not just dialogue, it's showing their reactions. But you can see in Fate of the Furious that Vin Diesel showed up to set being he's here for this date. All right, we're going to get these scenes done now, and then I'm never going to see this guy again. Or I think Dwayne Johnson thought that more than Vin Diesel, but you know what I mean. It was let's get these scenes done and move on.
We're definitely seeing that now, without question.
That's where the talk about Fast 10. Jason Statham probably shows up because he's fuck it, I can play both sides because I'm Jason Statham. It doesn't matter. And I have something that ties to both, a Hobbs Shaw sequel, which is again being talked about. And then how are they going to resolve this Han Deckard Shaw issue, which is still stupid as fuck. But yeah, it'll be interesting going forward. What was the other takeaway I had? Yeah, besides that, before we get to the rankings, like I said, the one that you were least looking forward to was Fast and Furious, right?
Yeah, originally that's the one I was like, all right. After I seen it, I was gonna watch it regardless, just because the name was attached to it. It's the same with Hobbs and Shaw, even though the main characters weren't involved. I still watched, and if y'all go back and listen to it once again, Banks versus Davis on Spotify, Apple, your preferred streaming service, YouTube, Banks versus Davis. Go ahead, subscribe to that, hit that like button. Originally, what I said was, damn, I hate this movie. Hobbs and Shaw ended up becoming one of my favorite movies in the entire franchise, even though this is basically a different franchise, but it still has the name Fast and Furious attached to it. But
yeah,
with the Fate of the Furious, when I originally saw it, I was like, oh, this shit sucked. But looking at it now, I don't think it's bad. It's just over eccentric in a way. But
Oh, go ahead.
Furious wasn't that bad, and it wasn't over the top. No, that's it. It ain't as over the top as Fast 9. That's all I said.
Yeah, see, I was because we started it right before, because we started it week 1. Fast 9 came out the next week because we kind of did a mini review before Too Fast, Too Furious. And as soon as we got to like, as soon as we saw it, I was like, oh, this is the one I'm going to hate to go back to. At first it was Fate of the Furious, just because, but not even that. Because again, I was looking forward to the Vin Diesel overacting Olympics, which was my main takeaway from that. Again, because I love all these movies and I know the weaknesses that the lesser ones have. Too Fast was one I was always like, love 1 minute, and then I'm like, as you and I both figure out, like, it's probably it's an amazing movie, but like the worst third act ever. Of like, you have like the great setup scene of like, you know, Brian O'Connor's in Miami. Oh, he's got to do a job for the cops. He goes and gets his old friend Roman Pierce, and they do a mission together. It's like, oh, dope. And then it's like, we got to take down the crime lord. But like, again, as you and I pointed out, how on earth is this guy a crime lord? So that's where I was when we got to that, right? Which is again early on. And Tokyo Drift, same thing. Like, oh, the weakest thing about this movie is Lucas Black and his accent. Like, what do you mean drift? Like, but the best part of that movie is Han. I mean, you would say Bow Wow, but it's Han to me. It always was. I'd always go back to that movie for the Han.
Pistachio and vibes, bro.
Even Fate of the Furious, it was good because like you and I said at that time, it was the band got back together. Just about all of them. Michelle Rodriguez showed up and got right out. And then like I said, we hit that stretch where it was a legit three-peat, in my opinion, of Fast 5, Fast and Furious 6, and then Furious 7. And then we had like the worst version of the three-peat with Fate of the Furious, Hobbs and Shaw, and then Fast 9. So going back, like I said last week, going back to F9 already was tough because I was like, oh, God. Even though I said like, yeah, the first 30 minutes is good. And then I'm like, oh, yeah, it's a horrible second act. And then the third act is just like, why'd you make this movie? This is what you thought you had. You could not just wait another year. I mean, you couldn't agree to terms with Dwayne Johnson. You couldn't resolve that issue too bad. Like, but so I guess we'll get to the official rankings. Banks, do you want to go first?
Yeah. So once again, we're just giving our favorite movies, right?
Yeah, it's ranked from our favorites personally, not and what we would think is the best, but like you can sometimes like best and favorite can kind of be two different things, but in my case it'll be I think this is the best and I also prefer these more. And we'll go we'll start it from 1 and then go to 10. So we'll start off with the positive and then go with it because that'll be easier to sort it that way.
Right, because I was about to say I could put a list up if you already have it, but if you don't, as far as your favorite, then we could just go off the top of the head because I was going to put it here so that people would see it. I'll probably just add it.
Oh no, we'll be tweeting it. Instead. We'll be tweeting it from the account at the BVD Pod on Twitter. So make sure to follow that in case you aren't listening. That's where you'll see it as well. So don't worry about timing it up on here. We'll make sure to tweet it out from the account.
Okay. So. And we're going from, of course, 1 till 9, right? With our rankings? 1 to 10.
Yeah, 1 to 10.
Okay, yeah, because Hobbs and Shaw technically.
It's like 9, and I mean, it's like 8.8.
It would be 10. Yeah. That's all I'm saying. Like, technically, it would be the 10th. I don't know. It just depends. Once we talked about it as well, too, people. Whole time, Paradox, and that being out of order. Because honestly, hell, Hobbs and Shaw could actually take place after Fast 9 if they really want to say that. But it's over to us.
No, it couldn't because the guy says, didn't they just work together in New York? And don't forget, his mom's in jail. She's not in jail in F9 because he's like, "Didn't you? I heard you were in jail." And she's like, "Oh, it was no big deal." So Hobbs and Shaw takes place before F9.
What if it took place at the same time?
No, we're not doing that.
But
we're not doing. Well, that was the thing that upset me the most. Real quick, was that the continuity was pretty good, with Furious 7 with Furious 7 taking place after Tokyo Drift. That all worked until Fate of the Furious, his hiding a child, even though he wasn't really hiding, he didn't know it existed. Hobbs and Shaw happens, and then F9 happens. It's like, yeah, the whole, like, we'll talk about No Way Home soon in terms of multiverses and fucking it up. That's what happened with Fast and Furious post 2015. Is that they had a great continuity that has now been shat upon.
Got you. Okay.
But again, we'll go. You'll say
so
your first favorite, and then you'll say your first favorite, then I'll say mine. So we'll go back and Snake. We'll go back and forth. Is what I say. I was just letting you start off.
Okay. Shit. I'm going Too Fast, Too Furious for my first.
Wow. Again, not too surprised given your love for Tyrese. But I can't believe you actually did it.
Despite
that was the thing
stupid shit that he's been saying lately.
lately. Come on.
Lately, as in the past week, bro. Because
he's been saying it for years. Don't forget, this man almost cost Dr. Dre and Jimmy Iovine billions of dollars.
That's true. He just talked too goddamn much, especially that whole him and Terrence Howard thing. It's like, bro, you really didn't have to say that.
What do you mean, man?
And the fact that he's lying, like, bro, all right, man, you got it. Yeah. I won't say what he said. Fucking Tyrese, of course. Just look at what he said about like growing up in the hood. Like, bro, all right, man. I've been. We both from South Central, bro. I'm not from Watts. I'm from South Central, but it's not that far apart. It's like, bro, I done been to Watts countless times. Like, stop, bro. You've been famous since you was 19. Stop lying.
Stop lying. But so Too Fast, Too Furious. That won't be in my top 4. I'll say that right now. So my first favorite is the one that started it all. The iconic, The Fast, and The Furious. I make a chance to rewatch it every year. Like I said, I think it actually is pure cinema with like the cinematography, the dialogue, the performances. I think it's really underrated in terms of how they made that a piece of art, which people now view it as pop art with F9. Like, oh, it's the ultimate kind of trashy art. It's so over the top, it's amazing. Where it's like, no, it's just bad. But like this right here, what you shit up on at first is really, really good when you look at it.
Yeah, Fast 9 is basically the unreleased Donda album. That's all it is. We'll
get to that a little bit later. Don't spoil the rest of the show. Because again, we're going to be going back to the random topics that you and I are into. But don't talk about that just yet. Hold on.
Antonio going to freak the fuck out. I see you in the comments.
So number 2, what do you got at number 2?
Let me get Fast. Damn. I'm gonna go Fast 5. No. Let me go Furious 7.
Oh, I see. I had the same thing.
Yeah.
Just barely over Fast 5 because, like I said, I think it's really the ultimate blockbuster film. It's got everything. Mm-hmm. It's so perfect. And it's still a Fast and the Furious movie. It just added like 2 crazy things of dropping cars from planes and driving cars through buildings. But it's still a Fast and the Furious movie.
Right, exactly. That's why I was like, okay, yeah, let me go with Furious 7.
Great villain in Deckard Shaw. Again, shouts to the man who we saw the Kingsman trailer this week. Jamon Hunsu just shows up, collects a check, plays a second bad guy. Kurt Russell shows up, plays Pat Riley again. Woman, I Am the Cavalry. It's the debut of Pressure, Natalie Emanuel. Shouts to
Yes,
her
Lord.
always. My London ting. Tyrese is all on fire with the 10. It's really the start of that more than anything. Again, it's We Say Farewell to Paul Walker. Perfect. And he thought this was a street fight, and then he just like, the street always wins. And he just stomps this shit in it. It's phenomenal.
Yes,
So
sir.
I can't, but you know what? So I'll take you at Fast 5 at number 3 then, if you were that close.
Nah, I got Tokyo Drift.
Oh, wow. Oh, okay. Why Tokyo Drift at 3?
Because there was no need for the movie, but Universal was like, "Fuck it, we gotta do something."
What it was that they were trying to ride the momentum of the name.
Yeah.
What else can we do with this name? Because Fast and Furious works. It just didn't work as much the second time.
Exactly. So he was like, "All right." Universal's like, "All right, we got to do something. That who can we put in this movie? Bow Wow. The kids love little Bow Wow. Like, bruh, Fresh as I'm Is was not cracking like that. Was this around that time? Because this is a year after Let Me Hold You. So they probably was like, yeah, let's get the little Let Me Hold You Negro. Let's put him in a movie. What is his name? Bow Wow? Is he like Snoop? Let's put him in.
This is because it's before he fully became Shad Moss for a while, as an actor at least too. Where it was like Lil Bow Wow was a rapper, Shad Moss was the actor type of shit.
Hey,
JD
called you Bow Wow. I'm gonna call you Bow Wow. I don't give a damn. Ain't no Shad Moss.
Tokyo at 3. Wow, I had Fast 5 at 3 because again it elevated it. I mean, Luke Hobbs shows up. He gives the fugitive speech on every outhouse, in-house, doghouse, and henhouse. The fight of the century, like I said, it's. I mean, they drive us safe. They carry us safe through Rio. Again, like Roman Pierce says, again, that's where you truly get to see Tyrese. Like, oh, okay, when this guy gets the ball, he's gonna take over. He's gonna beat Jamal Crawford. With the, did you say $10 million, $11 million? See, well, I wasn't listening when you said
it's him. It's a shoot. All right, that whole movie, that's Tyrese in real life, probably.
That's really also Fast 5 more than anything is where you see family, which I can't believe we went 42 minutes without saying family yet.
I'm glad because goddamn, bro. You the reason why that joke was.
No, see, there you go. Right, explain that. Explain it.
I swear to God, when we cut that episode that week, which one was it? What movie were we on at that? Oh no, it was the Fast 9. It was getting ready to start. It was getting ready to.
No, I think it had already Fast 9. I think had already come out. So it
was like a week after.
We either did Tokyo Drift or Fast and Furious is when that happened. The memes, the Dom Toretto family.
It's got to be Tokyo Drift because that's like a week after.
Yeah,
Fast 9 came out, which is weird. That's what I'm saying. Like, if y'all was gonna get the jokes off, why y'all didn't get it the same week? Like, it literally took a week for the jokes to start getting off. I was like, maybe people actually went to go see it.
I think people went to go see it and saw John Cena turn face and were like, "Oh, come the fuck on!" Like, which was the most obvious thing when they casted him. Like, John Cena's not going to play the heel the whole time.
It was the magnets. Like, I was talking to Eve yesterday. He's talking about the magnets. So, you know what I mean? When we try to get some people to come through and give their piece on it, you know, they'll talk about the magnets. Because when we went back and we watched it last week, even you said it countless times, like, yeah, this shit is stupid. It's magnets. I was like, yeah.
Yeah, like I said, it was the one thing where I'm like, this was your grand idea for how we're going to separate and take it up a notch. Was magnets, which like I said, Six Underground did that, and I'm like, no, it didn't work then. Yeah, like no. So you had Tokyo Drift at 3. I said I had Fast 5 at 3. Yeah, so you'd be going on 4.
Hobbs and Shaw.
Oh, you son of a bitch.
Yeah, Hobbs and Shaw, bro. Like I said, when it first came out, I thought it was trash. I was like, now let me watch this again. Then I said, let me watch it again. And I was like, all right, it's certified, bro. I was just tripping.
Okay, I'll get to that later. It's not in my top 4. I said my piece in. I'll say it when I have it on my ranking. Number 4 would be, like I said, I think it's the most underrated one. It's slept on. It's Fast and Furious 6. The runway as long as 18 stadiums put, all 32 NFL or stadiums put together. But yeah, it's the debut. I mean, we get the first Shaw, which is Owen Shaw, probably the best film of the franchise. The flip car, my favorite thing the franchise has ever done. They're in London, a majority of it. Again, I love London. Shots to the women there.
Yes, sir.
So go ahead and pick a number 5.
Give me Fast 5 for 5. Haha. See how I did that?
Oh wow. Why at 5? Which is, again, this is largely considered everyone's favorite. The people that don't like these movies will at least admit that Fast 5 is a great movie. But why at 5? Really low. Again, you are the guy with an acquired taste, I'll say.
Yeah, shouts out to Money Plane. More so just because they took it up a notch, or I just favored the other ones more than Fast 5, believe it or not, even though Fast 5 is probably the most popular one besides the first one, and Too Fast, Too Furious, and Hobbs and Shaw as well. But I just felt like the other ones took it up a notch. So if this was 2015, obviously I got to put Fast 5 at 5, or I got to put it as number 1, and then the other ones will fall where they would fall. But out of the other 4, yeah, in hindsight, I really enjoyed the other ones. It's no huge insight I have into my opinion. It's more so just that, the heist was great. The other, seeing Vince one last time was good too. But when you got those other movies and they take up the action a little bit more and the outrageousness up a little bit more, you just be like, all right, I'm gonna choose those over Fast 5.
Yeah, we forgot about Vince for MVP. He's not the MVP, he's MVP runner up, because in 2 movies he delivered. And he delivered for us in terms of meme content, but also it's a good performance by Matt Schultz as the real meathead, but again a loyal best friend. He's telling Dom you shouldn't trust this guy. I've known you since the 3rd grade.
I told you he's a cop. You didn't believe me when I told you.
With his fucking Hardy Boys tank top and fucking and in Fast 5 he shows up essentially with Dexter Loomis's tattoos. Hell of a performance from Matt Schultz, almost 10 years apart.
Hey, Dexter Loomis, I'm on your ass, boy.
Oh,
Here
we go. So that was your 5th, right? So my 5th would be, see, this is when it gets dicey. It would either be Tokyo or Too Fast. You know what? I'll go with Too Fast because the Paul Walker, Tyrese, Brian O'Connor, Roman Pierce combo is what serves as the inspiration for this show. And it's got one of the best chase scenes. Well, the race scene in the beginning is one of the best things the franchise has ever produced. Shouts to John Singleton for going out of his lane and delivering a really good action, buddy cop film. Even though they're not really cops. We have a guest with us.
Right.
Yo, am I here? You can hear me?
Yep, we can hear you, Khal. This is Khal of Black Rasslin, rockthedub.com.
You already know. What's popping, y'all? Y'all still on this this Fast and Furious?
See, that's why we had to call you to give so you could give your piece about these movies, and particularly Jesus. F9.
You know what the thing is? I'm Well, I never really cared about the Fast and Furious. I think I was too old when it started. I feel like the age group that really y'all age group is like perfect for this franchise, and I like that y'all have something that y'all grew up with. You know what I'm saying? Like it's been 20 years or whatever.
I told my dad that this was my Star Wars, and he said, "Get
That's
out
what
of the
I'm
house."
saying. It's like it's so ridiculous. They go into space.
No,
in
it's
this
not.
movie.
No, it's not ridiculous.
Wait, what was the car that they took into space?
Wasn't it a Pontiac Fiero?
Some little red piece. Yeah, I think that was a joke. I feel like it's been so long since I saw it. Yeah, and they're just they're chilling in space for like. They took this bootleg Chrysler 300 and sat in space for like 3 hours. Are you serious?
Yeah.
Come on, man. Come on. There was dope shit. I mean, there was really cool action, but I remember it being a.
There wasn't, because that's my whole takeaway. It was a letdown to me. I told you, because you asked me, like, did Fast 9 make you sad or mad? And I was like, it did, Cal. It really did.
You were let down by the 40 minutes of magnets that were driving down the highway?
No, I was let down after 40 minutes in. When it was the magnets, I was just ready to walk out the door when it was the magnets.
Jesus. Hey, I hear you. This is the first time I've been in theater since the quarantine. So it's been about almost like a year and change, and it was a weird movie to go see. And like, it's a dope movie to see in theaters. If you're gonna see it, you need to see that shit on. The John Cena driving these weird cars and jumping the cars and all this other nonsense. Like
he drives like three cars over the course of the movie. It's like because he can't fit in the cars.
Yeah, it's nuts. That's a big hulking bastard. There's all this stuff going on, and you need it on a big screen, but like it's at the end of the day, it's just another like overly ridiculous Fast and Furious movie. That's all it is. You just have to accept it for what it is.
What was your favorite from the franchise? What's one that you actually genuinely like?
One that Fast 5.
See, that's what we were just talking about.
Fast 5, but Fast 5's also kind of like the obvious. Like I know there was a back and forth conversation about the second film, which I probably have seen the second film more than any of the other Fast and Furious films. It might be because rest in peace John Singleton. But and I'm not like a Tyrese guy. Again, I wasn't a Fast guy, but it was something about that. Like you could just jump into the world, and it's like they didn't take anything like too serious. It was just two guys stealing cars and trying to get away from the real bad guys or whatever. It was, the shit was kind of light, but yeah, I'd say Fast 5 one. Some of those bigger ones are kind of dope. Shouts out to Dwayne The Rock Johnson. You know what it is, but that's like me trying to figure out, who my favorite AEW wrestlers are. No, I'm kidding. That's a joke. That's a joke. Sorry.
No, that's the thing, because Banks had Too Fast, Too Furious at number 1 on his ranking, and then had Fast 5 at number 5. And like I said, I just finished saying that, like, I'm not surprised Banks had Too Fast, Too Furious, given that he likes Tyrese. Again, John Singleton, I just had Too Fast, Too Furious at my number 5, and I said, like, it works compared to some of the latter ones that we've been given, because John Singleton was a different choice.
Right.
So was F. Gary, but F. Gary Gray kind of had more experience with like the Italian Job.
Yeah, but I think, but you know what it is? It's while a lot of people will credit F. Gary Gray and The Rock, to a certain extent, for being the people that really elevated it and turned it into, or helped turn it into this bigger than people hijacking car shit off of trucks or whatever type franchise into this big blockbuster thing. You could see that they were going in that direction already in the second film because Vin wasn't around and they kind of had to kind of shift the series. I think early on they were kind of like, let's try something, let's throw this out and see if it works. And it was flying. It ended up working and people were still hyped for it. So it's the shouts to F. Gary Gray, but really like John. I want to say there's a piece on GQ that kind of explores
It came out right when Fast 9 was released, about Too Fast and Furious being the forgotten gem of the franchise.
That's right around the time I was forcing myself to rewatch some of these films.
Yeah, I saw you on Letterboxd, and I was like, "Oh shit!" And I'm like, "What's this about?" Like, I was like, "Who are you going to talk to?" And you didn't end up talking to anyone.
Yeah,
you are the Star Whisperer, is what you are.
You know what it is? Is I had ideas, but things don't happen. It's a pattern of mine. But at the end of the day, you still got to see the damn film, and I had to get a refresher. I was right before quarantine. I was dreading it because I was like, shit. I don't have any time to rewatch any of these movies when it was supposed to originally come out. And the quarantine, at least it gave me a little buffer to be like, let me dive into some of the better. And some of those later ones are awful. Some of those later films are awful. I couldn't even get through them. Boring.
It hurts to hear you say that. But what didn't hurt was you sending me that F9 hat. I'll always appreciate you for that.
Yeah, it's a nice. I'm surprised they had 2 in the pack. They don't normally do that. But
that they knew you potted with me, and they were like, "You're."
they said, yeah. At some point, Dave's is gonna ask for a hat. He's a goddamn fiend for fat. Nah, I guess they meant to do it. I don't know. But shouts to I guess Universal, whoever over there hooked up that stuff.
But Universal, I'm coming to burn that place down after F9. I might like the hat. I didn't like the movie.
Damn, shit. I know you guys are talking Fast 9, but we recording on the day where Candyman about to make all that money, and Universal doing their thing low key at the end of the year. You'll see some of the bigger films of the year probably came from their camp at some point.
Yeah, real quick. Thanks. Did you see Candyman? Because I thought you said you were going to see it last night.
No, I haven't had a chance to see it yet.
Okay.
I am waiting for a certain site to drop it.
But wait, I know that struggle, but that struggle going to be real, depending on when you hit that site.
And that's the thing. I think a reason you don't like, not to say like why you don't like it specifically, but Khal, you're more of a big horror movie fan, and I'm someone who really doesn't like horror unless it's a certain type of horror. But you'll kind of like watch any horror movie.
I'll watch any. The older I get, the more I realize that I've been watching horror a lot longer than I probably should have been. But it's the genre that I grew up with when I was watching nothing else. It was Freddy Krueger and shit. So I'm big Candyman fan of the character. The film I have issues with the film. I'm not like a 100% loving the film. But that's not we're not here to discuss that now.
Yeah.
But it's an interesting one. If y'all do end up watching, I don't know if Dave's is going to watch it because you might not end up seeing the film the way that shit goes. It'd be violence.
Like I said, I wasn't probably going to see it in theaters. I was probably going to wait until it comes on either a streaming service or like it'll probably be an HBO movie. I'll say in like 8 months.
I will. It's probably going to be soon because next week Shang-Chi comes out.
Yeah, well, I'll be seeing that next week. Yeah,
it's going to be quiet for anything in the theaters when that drops. So they're going to get a good opening weekend, and I think Candyman might. Respect was in theaters for 2 weeks, and then it hit Amazon Prime. I wouldn't be. They might wait. I think because it took 45 days for Fast 9 to hit digital. I think they might wait that window. But it might be a little sooner. Who knows? It depends on what the people want.
Yeah, I think that was also David Otunga kind of getting his, revenge on Jennifer Hudson and Respect. That karma came around this time.
That man in his damn coffee cup. Anyway.
But yeah, no, Khal, I know you were one of the people who were like laughing at me on Twitter that day when the F9 clip was released and Eve was shitting on me and so was X from Black Variant, and then you were like, what, you mean to tell me you think these movies are good? I'm like, yes, I do. So when we were coming up with this post show, I was gonna try to have you on just to speak your piece on it for a couple of minutes. Appreciate it.
No problem. Again, it's and the thing is I just want to make sure that I am prepared for you. You know what I'm saying? Like, I see the film early, so I can say, all right, Drip is not going to fuck with this. So let me kind of, ease into letting him down gently. And I'm glad you were. You say I think you were okay. Ultimately, you probably had to take a day and process that was a long film. That was a lot of trash.
No, I still hate it. We watched it last week. I still hate it.
You
it's still
rewatched
horrible.
it?
Yeah.
Do they have a cut?
I paid the $20 to rent it and watch it on my PlayStation last week.
You paid?
Yeah.
Banks, you ain't hook your man. He paid?
No, because we had to have a stable service to do the commentary along with it.
Please, y'all got I guess.
My service was stable. My service was stable. My streaming app was very stable. The Disney minus one and the Netflix minus.
Disney minus, right?
Hey, Khal, I'm also the same guy who paid to see BVS twice in 3 days. After knowing I didn't like it the first time, I went back being like, maybe I was wrong. There's some small chance I might be wrong. I saw it like as soon as I was like, again, 20 minutes. I'm like, oh yeah, this was bad. Yeah, it was as Banks and I always say, the Arrested Development. I made a terrible mistake.
I don't know a lot about a lot, but one thing I do know is that I know when a movie is trash, and not even knowing all of the fast like lore like people do, the super fans like, no, this is garbage. For a fast film, it was garbage.
That's why I was hesitant to trust you when you're like, it's on, but I'm like, oh, but Khal doesn't like these movies, so maybe it won't be. But then I was like, oh, this is worse than Khal probably envisioned.
I just watch movies, and I can tell. It's just I'm probably a better chooser of good or bad movies than I am for pro wrestling. My movie prediction charts are a lot better. I had this cat. We bet a case of beer on if Deadpool or the Suicide Squad was going to do better. I saw the Suicide Squad trailer. I'm like, this is not going to be it. And I knew what Deadpool. But he was hype off that one trailer with I think it was the Queen trailer. I'm like, yeah, good luck with that one, buddy. Good luck with that one.
Yeah, I didn't see Deadpool in theaters. I saw the Suicide Squad though, because I'm like, oh, the Deadpool movie won't be that good. Then when I heard it was great, I watched the shitty cam version and I was like, oh, this is amazing. I went and paid to see Suicide Squad. It was horrible. I'm like, this shit is trash. Yeah, crazy how that shit works.
Yeah. I would have told you if I knew you back then. I would have tried to. You would have still seen the shit, but
I still would have seen the Suicide Squad. Yeah, I still would have seen it, but I was more like the Deadpool movie. It looks like there's only what it is. There's only 2 action scenes and a whole bunch of filler.
That shit was hard though. The first time.
No, I'm not saying it is. I'm saying they had a shoestring budget for that movie.
Yeah. I mean, I think on replay, like I got a couple of rewatches out of Deadpool, but after a while, it's kind of like, all right, I know it feels like it's a 45-minute film when it's really full length, but that first watch is a really good one.
Yes.
As opposed to Fast 9, where that first watch you want to gouge your eyes out.
I did the voice tweet where I was almost crying. I was on the verge of tears.
I was almost crying.
Legit. All I wanted since I think I said this first venture in a Fast Summer when we did the Fast and the Furious. I saw the Fast and the Furious on VHS coming home from the last day of school. My mom was watching it. I get in right when like the woman puts Ja Rule's hand in her shirt. Yeah. And I was like, okay. Yeah. And then they start racing cars. And I'm like, oh, I'm all the way in now. But it's probably 2005 or 4. So I'm 9 to 10 years old.
That's crazy.
I'm a wrestling fan the same year. I see John Cena. And you tell me in 2015, even then, I'm 20 years old. Like, John Cena will be in a Fast and Furious movie one day. I'm like, yeah, whatever, shut up. And then they announced, my 2 favorite things coinciding, the Venn diagram.
Yeah.
And then not delivering was,
this is too little, too late. But what can you do? They still made mad money. I was just looking at the domestic opening numbers, and Fast 9, they still have the highest domestic opening of the year. So it's nothing to sneeze at.
They want it though. That's the thing. It's not much as
you got to throw the whole year. You got to throw an asterisk at the whole year.
Oh yes.
Nothing. There's nothing normal about 2021 at the box office. It's week to week and how much you can get people. Like Candyman's a perfect example. People might not know what they're gonna get when they get to the theaters, but they got talked into the theaters by that marketing campaign, or you need the hype of the fast saga F9 or whatever. Like that's the shit that's going to get people in the theaters. They just the creators have to get back to making dope shit.
Yeah, well, they were both films that got pushed due to COVID too.
Now
so they had a year of waiting.
I want to ask both of y'all a question before I guess we wrap all this up. Fast 10 is going to be 2 parts. Or after what Fast 9 was, are y'all hyped for this movie? These movies?
I'll always be hyped, and I'll know I'll be let down. Yeah, Banks' theory is that they go back in time and save the dad.
What? And then what? They don't meet each other?
Mm-hmm.
No, it's that he'll be able to. No, it's that he'll be able to have his family all at the same time.
But that's not how y'all never saw the butterfly effect.
Oh no, I know how it works. Believe me.
That's not how you can't change what they.
You try telling Vin Diesel that's not how it works.
Well, you know what that sounds. That literally sounds like the next Spider-Man film. Let me change this one thing up.
Hey, we're gonna talk about that. We're gonna talk about that a little bit later.
Well, y'all enjoy that. That if you want to talk about shit to get hyped for,
we're hyped for it.
Hyped for. That I'm saying, don't even worry about Fast 10. You don't have to worry about that nonsense. Y'all just stay in that what's it called? Spider-Man
No Way Home.
What's it called? No Way Home.
No Way Out.
Almost Home. Spider-Man No Way Out. Yeah, that shit is that's gonna be the hype shit. That's the one. That y'all better watch that film and then start podding immediately after y'all both see that shit. Get those get that. That's the move right there. But don't worry about
the move will be in 2023 for Bankside to be in the same place to go see F9 together. I mean F10 together, and then immediately walk out and hug each other and be like family.
Have y'all ever been to see a movie together?
No,
y'all have never met. Y'all
never really met this man in my life. Math met this man before I did.
Y'all are really quarantine partners. It's dope. That's really dope. It's just funny. Yeah. And damn, y'all gonna cry on each other's shoulders the first time y'all meet each other.
Oh no, because I'm like 5 inches, 6 inches shorter than Banks, so
Banks will be swinging. he'll be punching the air. Banks will be trying to buy him a beer. It's terrible. Yeah, good luck to y'all. Good luck to y'all for real.
Real quick, because you got to say it. So, would you rather watch CM Punk matches the rest of your life, or Fast and Furious movies the rest of your life?
Fast and Furious movies.
Wow.
You know why? Because at the very least, I know that if I watch Fast and the Furious movies for the rest of my life,
ask you.
I'll probably see more black people in the Fast and Furious movies than I will see in the CM Punk matches. I'm just being honest.
Wait a minute.
Show me the lie. Show me the Carfax.
No, there's a lot of
You don't like him hugging AJ Lee?
I'm fine. I don't care about none of that. I'm saying, when's the last viable black contender he ever fought? It had them was there a Kofi situation? They were a tag team at one point.
They were a tag team. Him and R-Truth kind of had a mini feud. Yeah, there wouldn't have been.
There wasn't a lot of black people.
Oh, but no, him and Mark Henry feuded for a couple of weeks in 2012. They feuded for like 3 straight weeks. Yeah.
Was this Hall of Pain Mark Henry?
It was right after 2011 was Hall of Pain, so it was like the tail end of Hall of Pain.
Mark Henry won?
No, it was like CM Punk would beat him by count out 1 week, and then CM Punk would beat him by count out 1 week, and then beat him by disqualification another. Then they like had a no DQ match, and then CM Punk won.
Couldn't even pin him most of the time, huh?
Well, this was CM Punk starting the reign. Well, what would be the longest reigning title reign at that time until Walter and Pete Dunne and whoever else succeeded Kaylee Ray due to quarantine, but still. Got you.
All right. I think my headphones are dying. Yo, you hear me? You hear me?
I was gonna ask you, name me 5 of your favorite Edge matches.
No, he's got to come back for that. Come on.
5 of my favorite Edge matches. Yeah, I can't do that. I couldn't do that. I could not do that, honestly. I could not.
I know.
Edge?
I just know people admit it now.
This asshole.
Edge?
All right, I got 5 right here.
Exactly.
All right, so John Cena, Unforgiven, 2006. Shawn Michaels, Raw, early 2005. Matt Hardy, Raw, late 2005. This Seth Rollins match, Nah. Probably the Jeff Hardy ladder match. I don't want to reuse the same opponents. That's why I wouldn't say the John Cena last man standing match in 09. I try to do different things like that.
I'm being judged because I don't care about Edge matches.
No, you're just being judged because Banks hates Edge and is a Christian, a peep. He's a peep.
No, cheating. Oh yeah, I mean, hey, yeah, I don't know. I could not. I who cares? Who cares? Seriously. Shouts to Edge. He was a good performer, but really, come on.
No, shut him out. That's fine.
I don't know. I know. Is he still doing stuff now? Like after
he
the
wrestled last week? He'll be doing stuff again. Yeah.
He wasn't on SmackDown on this past Friday. I haven't watched it.
I haven't watched it either, but he'll be coming back.
Yeah, he was on there. He said he won a title shot. He won another title shot.
He'll want to face Finn Balor.
A title shot. He ain't done nothing for nothing. He's won matches, but come on. Anyway, fucking Edge.
Thank you. That's all I wanted.
Appreciate it.
No problem. I'm glad to come through.
Black Rasslin on Twitter.
You already at blackrasslin.com, I guess.
Hit that like button.
At Black Rasslin on Instagram, youtube.com/Black Rasslin. Like, comment, subscribe, review. Tell a friend to tell a friend. Tap in and all that stuff. I'll catch y'all.
Peace.
Blackkannouncetable.com. Y'all tap in. Peace.
All right. So I see that's something we were going to try to have people just pop in, give their takes. Shouts to Khal, again, a mentor of mine, a real OG, legend, especially legend in the interview business. I mean, talks to everyone.
Yeah, no, I was waiting for him to say, yeah, I'm out here doing an interview with Roman Reigns.
He was like, speaking of Fast 10, I'm talking to Vin Diesel. Like, holy shit. Like,
the script isn't done, so they're just going to ad-lib the whole movie.
The script, Vin, how's Fast 10 going? The script isn't done, motherfucker.
Learn from what?
So we it worked perfectly because we just got halfway through the 5 best. Now we'll be getting, the bottom 5, the top 5 versus the bottom 5. So what do you have at number 6?
Let me go with Furious 6.
Ooh, I understand it. Like, so you said you enjoyed it after rewatching it though, because you hadn't seen it in a while.
No. I'm sorry. Let me go with the Fast and Furious from 2001. Let me go with that one instead.
Ah, okay. Yeah, I was wondering how low that was going to get on your list, but all right, good to know that you didn't let that go all the way to like the bottom 2.
Yeah, I can't bury it. That's why I was like, oh hell no, because then I'm gonna feel like I'm burying the movie. So
yeah, all right. My number 6, like I said, it was either between Too Fast or Tokyo Drift, so I'll go Tokyo Drift. All I wanted to do was drift as soon as I saw that movie, and I didn't even I wasn't even close to having the car yet. And again, that's everyone's. That's like the hipster's favorite is Tokyo Drift, or like Fast 5, like Hal just said, like it's his favorite kind of like by default. Tokyo Drift is kind of like the hipster's favorite, but then people have now realized that like Too Fast, there's some stuff in there. So Tokyo Drift at 6 is mine.
It's me. I'm hipster.
7. What do we have at 7? And not Bugs.
Yeah, I'm really starting to really think, because now we get into the danger zone. Let me go with Fast and Furious.
Ooh, that's what
actually no. Yeah, Fast and Furious. No, Fast and Furious. I was like, let me make sure.
Yes, it's easy. All right, so I got Fast and Furious, Hobbs and Shaw, Fate of the Furious, and Fast 9. Fast 9, you know where that's going to be on my list.
I think it's on both our lists.
Oh, dead last? Yeah. I'll go Fate of the Furious at 7. due to Vin Diesel's overacting and the great prison fight scene. Yeah, because I prefer that over Hobbs and Shaw in terms of Dwayne Johnson's ego finally taking center stage.
Okay, then. All right. Let me go with the Fate of the Furies.
Fate of the Furies at 8. Okay.
Yeah, let me go with the Fate of the Furies.
Again, like a beautiful disaster, essentially, right? Like,
yeah.
so bad you gotta love it in terms of like, what are they doing, or what's one guy doing in particular?
It's more so the last when they get to Antarctica or whatever. That's when it's like, all right, cool.
Yeah, that's when you were like, wrap it up, wrap this shit up. Like,
yeah, that's what I was like, yo, y'all shouldn't have had that in the beginning so we could leave the movie theater early. That's all that was.
All right, so I'll go Hobbs and Shaw at 8. Takes place in another universe, but it gives us Brixton lore. Shaw said Idris Elba's second best villain of the franchise, even though he doesn't keep chasing them, which is still like so asinine to me, but I mean, it is what it is. That's got some dope action sequences, even though it's a completely different universe.
Mm-hmm.
All right, now the bottom 2. It's pretty obvious, but what do you got left?
Damn, that's what I'm looking at. Like,
I think we both got Fast and Furious, and then F9 at 9 and 10, right?
I feel like I said no. I said Fast 6 at 6. Okay, yeah. So
no, you said the Fast and Furious at 6.
Yeah. Okay, so then I said, where did I put Furious 6 at? It had to be up there. Okay, so no. I just want to make sure I got it all in order, so I won't be like I'm burying one movie for another. But since we had the last 2, this is when I start the burying process anyway. So I'm going with
Yeah, it's Fast 9 and then
No. I think I'm gonna throw a curveball. Throw a curveball. I think I'm actually gonna put Fast 9 above.
Don't you
Fast
fucking do it. Don't you fucking do it. No.
I got to. Here's why.
Show's over.
No, here's why.
Show's over. We're never potting ever again.
Dog. Here's the reason why. Hold on. Here's the reason why. With the Fast 9, yes, towards the end, it's just like, all right, wrap the shit up.
Towards the end, like I told you, after the first 30 minutes, wrap it up.
No, when we rewatched it last week, I was like, okay, it's horrible, but it's not as bad as I remember it to be. Because when I first watched it, I was like, oh no, this ain't it. But rewatching it, I said, okay, it's some things that I do actually care about, but I'll probably never watch it again after I'm lying. Because
we'll have to watch the director's cut for the end of the year.
Oh, God damn it.
The final episode of the year is going to be the director's cut commentary.
So there we go. I'm going to have to watch it again. Yeah, so it got John Cena to go in it.
I was saying in Tyrese. That's why you're doing that.
No. But Tyrese made the most sense out of everything that has
you're not supposed to make sense in these movies.
No, but I think it's getting to a point now where they just like they said fuck it before, all right? But I'm saying now they had him being the voice of reason, which made me enjoy the movie because it's like out of everybody else, out of Tez, out of everybody else, he's like, hey, bro, y'all think like we too lucky? Like, how are we surviving this shit? That's the main thing that made me say, all right, I like this movie because it's like out of everybody else, you had him cut the promo. First of all, he was out there like goddamn Laura Croft and Tomb Raider with 2 pistols and like South America shooting up people with AKs by himself. That's another thing. And then to go from that to John Cena being the brother, which is insanely outrageous between those 2 individuals being him and Dom. You got that. You got the way that the father went out over some goddamn debts he got bodied. And then
No, again,
obviously because they rigged the car, and then he fucking got hit, and then it actually helped him. Well, not helped him, but then it caused his demise. That's what I'm saying. Or it probably helped him because he's like, man, fuck this kid Dom Toretto. Let me get up out of here. So that's what I'm saying. Like, I remember exactly what happened.
But it talks like a 30-year-old.
That's what I'm saying. He got a Newport voice. But so it's that. It's the debt thing, but it's like, all right, I'm just gonna rig the car to fuck you up because I just want you to just get out the race.
So the car will slow down. It's what it is. So the car won't drive to its full potential.
Exactly.
The guy clips him, and then that's what causes the explosion because fluid's leaking, and I don't know. Ricky Bobby shit happens.
That's what I'm saying. That's the point I was getting to. It wasn't that he caused it, but he didn't cause the accident as a whole. But if he didn't do it, everything would have been fine. So it was that, and it was over some debts. That's what I'm saying. Like, bro, can we just kind of get some money somehow? Like, your son already about to be a criminal. Want to Dom start being a criminal early? Like, steal some VCRs at that point to help him out instead of VCR, DVD combo TVs or whatever. It was that. It was the locations they went to. That's pretty much it. Then after that, everything is like the magnets and all that shit is just goofy. But I can go watch it again. Obviously, we got to do it again because I forgot about that goddamn director's cut. 20 additional minutes they said they're giving us.
Is that really what it is?
So I think it's 20 additional minutes. I can look it up right now, but I'm
about to be let me look it up real quick. Because all right, so I'm putting Fast and Furious at 9. It's just because it's a nothing movie. Like I said, just getting the band back together, play the hits in a way, but like, nothing. It's got a great opening scene in the DR. Dom, Brian, and when they finally go toe to toe in the race, and the Stella Buster is good, but then everything in between and after, Jordana Brewster was looking good. That's positive. But other than that, not much else to. I mean, Gal Gadot shows up.
Sorry, what the hell?
And then you have Fast and Furious at 10. I have F9. I said my piece last week. I won't speak on that movie again until we watch the director's cut. Hopefully, the body is ready, but the mind, or like the body is really whatever the guy says, in terms of like the director's cut.
We ain't ready at all.
I mean,
I really didn't want to go through that shit again, but it's just like whatever.
All right, I'm looking it up right now to see what it says. I don't see any, but it says for additional minutes. In terms of what? Let me double check.
But it does say it's additional scenes, right?
That's what a director's cut's supposed to be. It's either supposed to be extended scenes or stuff they cut out so the movie would flow better.
So it might be maybe 5 minutes more. I thought I seen something about 20 minutes, but it's probably some additional scenes because usually it could be either or. Like the Batman versus Superman, that shit was like, that wasn't even 20 minutes. That shit was like 30 minutes.
That was 20 minutes of bullshit, too. I mean, God, don't get me started. The director's cut's a worse movie than the one we actually saw. Yeah, I'm not seeing an official.
Yeah, because I think the director's equated to like 3 hours and 12 minutes or somewhere around that. That shit was.
In this version, viewers can expect to see extended action sequences and some spectacular scenes that weren't shown in theaters. All of them handpicked by Jocelyn. Oh, hang on. As for what we can expect in a longer film, we've been told that the director's cut runs 7 minutes longer and includes a deepened sibling rivalry between Dom and Jacob. More of Dom's evolution as a father. Oh, God, more shit of him on the farm.
Yeah.
And never before seen flashback featuring some of the franchise's most beloved characters. extended sequences between but featuring Tej and Roman. So probably them in Germany or them in space. An additional Cardi B appearance. Oh, come on! And an expanded action climax featuring the infamous armadillo tank. Oh, God. So more of the magnet. God. Just put the Dom Jacobs scene on YouTube already. Don't make me sit.
And rent that's probably going to be like fucking $25.
No, I'm going to have to buy the DVD so I can add it to my collection.
You go ahead and spend that 30.
Yeah. No, I'll ask her for Christmas if it comes out by then. Yeah, because we'll do it'll be our end of the year episode. It comes out September 21st. So yeah, I'm asking that for Christmas from hopefully a young woman would like to purchase that. A particular young woman in general.
I don't know what you're alluding to. I have no idea. We're gonna leave it. This ain't the shade room.
You know who. I know you did what, Liv, you know who. But yeah, those are our rankings. Again, we'll do the director's cut commentary. That'll be it for a while until we Hey.
Yo.
We got BodyMore Bottles' own our guy Zell, who's been awesome and actually watching the films with our commentary track along with it. Shouts to you, Zell. What's your takeaway from Fast Summer? Were you a fan before or no?
Oh yeah. I liked it before. Like I ain't gonna lie, I ain't watched the last one yet, the newest one, because I ain't see the movie just regular watching it. So I ain't watched the watch along. But after I watch the movie, then I'm gonna watch it with the watch along too.
What was your favorite? What's your favorite?
Which one was when they was in they was trying to steal the cars out the train, and then they fucking,
so Fast 5.
Yeah, they drove it off the side. That was my favorite one.
See, again, it's universal. Everyone loves Fast 5. But like you said, like stealing cars off a train. How crazy is that to say?
And then it was like, oh, we got the band back together, and they all came in to pull off another heist. Like, you couldn't beat it.
Yeah, it's literally what the pod brunch is going to look like in Dallas. You get everyone who's ever known anyone. When people who didn't know people show up and do one last job, one last party. Our version of robbing cars from trains will probably be us doing crazy shit. I'll probably do a Shane McMahon, jump off a building.
Steal a chip off somebody's computer.
Again, Enzel, because you're a wrestling fan, which wrestler is the better actor in these films? You got Dwayne Johnson, you got John Cena, and you got the sleeper pick, Roman Reigns. Because who gives a tremendous performance just going, ooh.
I ain't seen the one with Johnson yet.
Oh, yeah. So, John Cena is good at it. You saw the Suicide Squad?
Yeah.
He was in
good in Suicide Squad.
Yeah. He's pretty good in Fast 9.
That new movie that's coming out look like it's good too.
The one with Lil Rel?
Yeah.
I watched that today. Yeah. I watched that today. It's okay. He's good in it. It's just a weird movie.
Yeah, it looks like it's different. Like it's a comedy more so, especially from his part.
Oh, yeah. No, it's a comedy, but it's just one of those weirdly made comedies out of the last couple of years where, like, at the end, it had five writers. I'm like, oh, this movie makes sense because there's so much, like, stuff in it that wouldn't make sense. Yeah, but John Cena's good at it. It's just weird to see, again, him with a full head of hair. And it's, like, spiked up, kind of like how mine used to be before he copied my hairstyle. But, hey, it is what it is.
But I feel like in the movies, like, The Rock, he kind of like, when you watch Denzel, like, he playing the same act, like, but it's a different person every time. But The Rock is just like, you can tell it's The Rock every time.
Yeah. And that's the thing with Denzel is like when he does the ones that are like for the paycheck, he's doing the same Denzel thing, but like with a little quirk, or he's dressed differently.
Yeah, but when Denzel do it, like you can believe you can get into it. Like after a while, you forget like, oh, he just doing it. You know, it's like, all right, this is the character now.
Yeah.
The Rock is still like, maybe it's because we watched him on wrestling for so long. It's like, oh, that's still The Rock, but I don't know.
No, you're 100% right. Everyone, that's why you're still calling him The Rock. I call him Dwayne Johnson to be an asshole because they're two different people. The Rock is the cool guy. Dwayne Johnson's the asshole who makes mediocre movies and has an ego. The Rock is amazing with the promos, the matches, the Versace shirts, the slide, all of it.
Yeah, I mean, that's what we know him as. That's what I'm gonna keep calling him. It's kind of
like Eve with John Moxley and Dean Ambrose. Vince McMahon named him
right.
Dean Ambrose. I'm gonna call him Dean Ambrose.
Right. That's what I was about to say. Like homeboy in the barbershop. That's what his mama named him. That's what I'm gonna call him.
I mean, dude, his Instagram is still The Rock, so he doesn't want to let that go. Even he knows at the end of the day, he's always The Rock. He did the thing for years when he was just trying to go by Dwayne Johnson when he was making the kid films, The Tooth Fairy, Race to Witch Mountain, The Game Plan. He was Dwayne Johnson then. Then when he came back to WWE, when he came back to WWE to promote Fast Five, he was both. He was The Rock, Dwayne Johnson.
You know, when he first started, it was the Mummy Returns, the Scorpion King. The first one, it was The Rock. Then it was The Rock, Dwayne Johnson. Then it was Dwayne The Rock Johnson.
Yep.
He tried to just drop it all and just make it Dwayne Johnson. But like, you still The Rock.
Yeah, it's a hard thing to shake. I mean, that's the whole thing about like John Cena. He had the same name, and people always knew him as John Cena. That's what the whole thing about Roman Reigns and him feuding didn't make sense when Roman Reigns like, I thought we were getting a different John Cena. It's like, motherfucker, he's been the same guy for 18 years. What do you mean? It's like he just stopped talking shit about people in like a certain tone of voice and like in rapping, and it was like, I'm gonna beat your ass, or like do. Like it was still the same guy. It's always been the same guy.
Yeah, that's the thing. He just stopped rapping and wearing throwback jerseys.
Yeah, he just wasn't as cruel. Yeah. I know. I said this. It's funny because I said this to Banks. Him in that Vacation Friends movie. It's like jeans really can't fit on this guy. They have to taper them, like they have to tailor them around his legs because he's wearing shorts about 50% of the movie and then pants in it. But like, I bet even when he's supposed to have pants, they're just shooting him from the waist up to be like, because John's like, I can't fit in regular jeans. Like that's why he always wears those Steve Harvey suits. Yeah, that's why like Fam says he wears those MC Scat Cat Steve Harvey suits.
Suits.
Yeah.
Bro, he too big. He would have to wear Levi jeans. Banks,
is there anything you want to ask Zell? Again, the CEO and founder of BodyMore Bottles, Abraham Drinkin. That shit had me dying.
BodyMore Bottles you're on IG and Twitter.
Because that pic of you, that's the picture we're gonna put as like this episode is featuring Khal. It'll be like his job picture, and then the picture of you featuring BodyMore Bottles. vonzerelli will be you with the face next to Abraham Lincoln. Like
the funny thing is, like we was out, my son took that picture for me, and like you know how like you do like a live picture.
Oh, I was about to say that's what it looks like.
Yeah, like.
Yeah, my grandma does
like,
that.
Nah, I was like, I could have changed it, like, and got a better picture out of it, but I was like, nah, I'm leaving it right like that.
Yeah, because it fits the vibe of like the Abraham drinking. But yeah, now that you say it, it totally looks like a live picture taken. Because I've had a grandma that always takes pictures without knowing she's on that setting.
Hey. Vaughn.
Yep.
If Dom Toretto was in PG County, what would his name be besides Dom Toretto?
PG County, I don't know. I don't really hang out there. I don't know too many people from out there. I be here in Baltimore.
Yeah, we know where he's at. Come on. So
All right, people in Baltimore then.
Well, they say like based on me being around fam and math, it's everything yo. So he'd probably be cut off sleeve yo.
Not driving, yo.
Driver.
That'll be his name.
Family, yo.
Hey, I was just about to say, is he a family? That's where I've got to. Zell, do you think Dom Toretto really is a family man at the end of the day? Because again, he did, even though you haven't seen it yet, the whole point of F9 is that he has a brother in John Cena, and the whole not to spoil too much, but it's like he basically just owns his brother. But again, this is a guy who preaches family and giving people a second chance. Letty shoots him. He's like, you never turn your back on family, even though she's got CTE / memory loss. He's still trying to bring her back. He ignores Vince, his longtime best friend / brother, and when he tells him that Brian's a cop. Dom Toretto, do you believe his family values? Is he right in them or no?
No, I don't think so, because like you just said,
You're
when
right.
he told him, he's a cop, he tried to tell him a couple times, and he didn't listen. He cared about his sister. I give him that. But other than that, it was just the people who could help him in his heist. And if he was such a family man, how come it took for 9 movies for us to find out about his brother?
Well, that's just a different writer more than anything. But yeah, you're right. Because as I pointed out in the 4th one, when Mia's like, I'm saying goodbye to the only brother I ever knew, I'm like, ooh, if only they know, if only they knew 11 years later that you'd be going back to that soap opera well, as Banks likes to watch, it's actually his evil brother. Dun, dun, dun. But yeah, you're
like
100% right. Yeah. Oh no, someone had an article about that when the trailer was released. It was like, what do all these things have in common? They borrow from soap operas. It was like Succession, the F9 trailer, and like one other movie or show. And everyone, it's like they're stealing soap opera plots. It's like, no, these plots are just always universal. It's like, again, look at professional wrestling. How many he's actually my son. Again, Kurt Angle and Jason Jordan. We know damn well he ain't Kurt Angle's son. Come on,
yeah.
Even though he might have been, given how his career ended because of a neck injury, that actually might have been like some crazy shit.
And the whole coma, the whole CTE thing is just like in a soap opera, somebody slip into a coma for a while, It's just everything's always reused, just a different spin on it.
Mm-hmm. Nothing's original, it's just different variations.
Yeah. But if they do it good, we gonna love it.
The fast and the reckless.
The young and the furious.
Y'all need to write them up. Daily soap operas.
It's just gonna be about the cars, though. It's gonna be cars. The movie. All right, but Zell, we appreciate you coming on again. Follow BodyMore Bottles on Twitter. Plug in your stuff. You can plug it here because
I appreciate y'all for inviting me on. It's the first time I've ever been on somebody else's show. I appreciate the invite. Follow me on Instagram, Twitter, BodyMore Bottles, and YouTube. Subscribe over there too. I appreciate y'all guys again. Keep up the good work. I'll holler at y'all later. Peace.
Peace.
Yes, sir. Appreciate you for coming through.
Yeah, we'll make sure to have Zell on again and talk about some wrestling because he's got some good takes and insight as well, being a lifelong wrestling fan, and that's where we know him from. But again, BodyMore Bottles.
Exactly.
I'm not a drinker, but if you are, he's got great recommendations and reviews, so check that out. What was that?
Absolutely.
For?
He putting me on this stuff because you need to. No. He be putting me on the stuff I've never heard of, and I didn't even know you can combine it.
And actually, you end up liking it?
I haven't ordered anything yet, but some of that shit, I'm like, man, that might be a hell of a mix.
It's like a lottery ticket when he buys the beef jerky and cherry coke, and he's like, that's a hell of a mixture. T-Pain, when he says that, that's a nasty combination.
That's a redneck combination.
All right. Let's get into some of the other topics that occurred this week. Let's just go right into the Spider-Man No Way Home because Cal alluded to it. Again, I'm super hyped for it. I know you are as well, given that this has probably been one of the many things over quarantine that you have been like full conspiracy, like Always Sunny in Philadelphia with the poster board that you like, oh, they got this guy, and they get them lying to us about, oh, no, this person's not going to be it, and not what you think, no. Then we see the trailer after it got leaked, and we see Alfred Molina. So, obviously, he was Doc Ock, 2004? Sheesh, 17 years ago.
Yeah.
I know you kind of briefly talked about this on Show Your Work, and I just gave my input of who's my favorite Spider-Man, which is Tom Holland. We'll get kind of segue into another topic related to this, but do you believe in the theories about it could potentially be Mephisto, who's portraying Doctor Strange? Are you buying into that?
No, because they try to they bring up Mephisto like wrestling fans bring up Daniel Bryan, bruh. Like, yo,
or
we had XPW.
Or CM Punk until he returned, essentially. Like, what is it? CM Punk that shows
XPW, GCW, motherfucking ECW. I'm like, God damn, bro. No, it ain't no fucking Mephisto. They gotta let that alone. Let that shit go. Now he might be in Doctor Strange in the multiverse. We don't know what's going on with that, other than apparently Professor X is going to be in it. But no, I think simply put, with No Way Home, it's just what has happened. I mean, since Kang the Conqueror was there, it's talking about the multiverse, and this action brings this action. That's all it simply is, because we knew something was going to happen.
In the Loki show, I forgot what they called that in the Loki show when it branches, right? When it splits into two.
Yeah.
So you're saying like what happens? Yeah, I think this is supposed to take place after Loki, after WandaVision, after Falcon Winter Soldier is what it looks like. Well, I mean, it's directly right after Far From Home, but I think all that stuff is maybe supposed to be around the same time as well, or not too far after, at least, given that the whole point of Far From Home is it's the field trip post the blip, and WandaVision is again like kind of right after the blip, given Monica Rambeau. I forgot what her daughter's name was. Shit. Tiana Paris's character. I forgot her first name.
Yeah, I forgot as well. Who's gonna play an integral part in not Captain Marvel, but
well, she will as well. I think.
Right? I think she might be in Captain Marvel as well, which comes out later on this year, if I'm not mistaken.
No, it's not until next year.
Unless they push that back, but I think it's supposed to come out this year. Oh, I'm thinking about Miss Marvel. Okay, so I'm tripping. So Captain Marvel,
Miss Marvel.
That's what she's supposed to be in, and then Miss Marvel.
The Miss Marvel show is not till sometime next year. That's the whole thing. It's like this
I
is
thought they said
kicking
it was
off.
coming out this year. The Miss Marvel show.
No, I don't think
like
they're
around
supposed to be
November or something like that.
I think Hawkeye is the only one that's supposed to come out for. Let me see.
Because next year they got She-Hulk.
Mm-hmm.
They got Moon Knight. And I thought Miss Marvel was coming out this year, so it might be next year, because I know next year they just going all out with TV. Basically, after Doctor Strange, it's like they just have a whole TV lineup, because they haven't announced any movies off the top of my head that I could think of for next year, because we're in phase 4, and definitely No Way Home is going to signify that we definitely in phase 4.
Real quick, so November 24th is when Hawkeye's supposed to show up. I mean, they air, and then Miss Marvel is at just as late 2021.
Okay, so yeah, I was on, because I was like, they shot that. That might have been like they wrapped that, I think, earlier this year, if not late last year. They wrapped that up, because I remember it was during production. Because Disney was like, "No, fuck that. We got to put this concept out. Fuck a pandemic." So they put that out, and then they were shooting Hawkeye as well during the pandemic. Like Disney, I think, were the first projects they'd be like, all right, bro, we got to get rolling because
Yeah, the first studio during quarantine was like, no, we gotta get this going.
Yeah, so the Miss Marvel. Well, it's Disney. If anybody's gonna be like, fuck that, we about our money. Come hell or high water, it's Disney. And that's for the I forgot the name of the Avengers. And I'm a comic guy too, but it's basically like the Young Avengers, so to speak, or the next Avengers, which is
West Coast Avengers or Young Avengers.
Yeah, I think it's Young Avengers because
Yeah.
Ant-Man and the Quantum Solace or Quantum Theory, whatever it is coming out. So they gotta have they gotta have, and that's when we actually gonna see the variant that Kang was talking about. So the one that was killed is just the one
real Kang.
Yeah, we're gonna see the one that's gonna really fuck shit up, because if y'all think Thanos, once again, I think I've said this on here. I know I've said it multiple times on other platforms. If y'all think that Thanos is bad, even he said it on the show. Jonathan Major said it on the show. Wait till they see. If you think I'm bad, wait till you see my other variants. Like, yo, yeah, just y'all do y'all Googles on Kang the Conqueror. Way worse than Thanos. But going back to No Way Home, so yeah, I don't really know who the sixth person is. Obviously, it might be Mysterio. People are saying. I know the Lizard is one of the Sinister Six. Yo, Sony, y'all finally got y'all wish. For years, they wanted the Sinister Six. I remember they were saying the Sinister Six movie after they canceled Spider-Man 4, because Vulture was supposed to be the main villain in Spider-Man 4.
Spider-Man 4.
The Sam Raimi. Yeah, the Sam Raimi movies. There's like, they just canned that Sony all together, and that's when we got that just hard reboot with Andrew Garfield, and everybody doesn't like those movies for the most part.
I like that first one.
The first one is all right. Now the second one, I can't. Yeah, it's bits and pieces. So if you just gave me Jamie Foxx's character, who was putting up 30 because the script was bad, so he basically
was so bad. I felt so bad for him too,
because we had this discussion before about movies where it's just like, I feel like we talked about this before. Sometimes it's just a script. Mm-hmm. So with him, he had to work with what he had. It's just like, it's not the same as pro wrestling. What they give you, you got to go by for the most part. Obviously, they tell you to adjust it if you think you have something better. And if it doesn't work, it can't get you buried, particularly with WWE, just because it's sports entertainment, emphasis on the entertainment. But with Jamie Foxx's character, it was just like, damn, bro, this shit is horrible, but let me try my best, because, it's Jamie Foxx. So he acted, and he did what he was supposed to do, but the writing was so bad. Now, this version, apparently, still photo leaked. So that perm that he had in Spider-Man, Amazing Spider-Man 2 is gone.
Yeah, I was just about to say, we're probably getting an alternate Electro, still played by Jamie Foxx, though.
Yeah, he just got a shape up now. He just got his shoot hair that he got, that wig or whatever Jamie Foxx got.
Yeah,
so he done had different hairstyles throughout the years, but he was bald for a minute.
A head tattoo as well, or are those pics fake? I was always confused where it was like he secretly had a head tattoo, and I'm like, why would he do that?
No, I think that was a work, because he did it for out of all the movies, Miami Vice. Because that's off the strength of you get nominated. It's been actors that have done it before. You get nominated, you win. The next couple movies are probably going to be bad because you're in cruise control, and you getting that 20 mil. Because at one point when you win the Oscar, every movie you do after that, you probably can command $20 million. So at that point, you're just like
Ali. That's why Mahershala Ali did Alita, Battle Angel, and then called Marvel and was like, "Hey, I'm going to be played," and they were like, "Yeah, you fucking are." Sure, we're not going to say no.
2026. They're taking their time with that.
Sucks. Shouts to Mahershala Ali, Bay Area legend.
Because always. So right now with the No Way Home, it's playing into everything that's setting up for Doctor Strange in the Multiverse, because that takes place after this, obviously.
Sorry.
Then if the rumors are in fact true, then we have the X-Men coming because Professor X is rumored to be in Doctor Strange in the multiverse via leak.
I thought the X-Men was supposed to show up in WandaVision. Like,
bro, you know they wasn't. That's the funny thing about it. They basically gave us the X-Men without giving us the X-Men. They just now they got to do a convoluted version in Doctor Strange because this shit ain't free. Y'all not gonna get this in the TV show. Y'all gonna get this work via a movie that you have to go to the theaters to see. Maybe it might be on that Disney Plus, but I doubt it. Because No Way Home, yo, the Delta variant is out here. It's really right now. And like I said, I don't watch The Office unless, you know, Caleb Braxton tell me to pull up. Then I'm definitely watching The Office.
good.
But it's just it's like, yeah, absolutely. Then I'm like, look, we're going to talk about it. But I'll be laughing just like Shorty.
Oh, okay. We'll get to that. We'll get to that. We'll get to that. But no, real quick. Like I said, they've been wanting to do the Suicide. I mean, the Sinister Six. I almost said the Suicide Squad.
It's all right. Take your time.
But yeah, they've been wanting to do that as you and I.
That's a lot of sixes, sir.
Yeah, 666. We'll get to that later too.
All right.
Yeah. Not that kind. The Sinister Six for a while again. Drew Goddard left Daredevil to make the Sinister Six movie. They didn't end up making it. He has one of the all-time interviews where he's like, "Oh, my Sinister Six movie would have been so amazing. Like you think the Suicide Squad was trying to do something where like the bad guys were really like, nah, mine. We're gonna be like this and that. And like we were supposed to go up the same time as like Doctor Strange. Like, what does Doctor Strange have? Magic tricks? Fuck you, magic tricks. We got, you know, Tom Hardy that's as big as the Empire State Building because he was going to be the Sandman, Tom Hardy. But yeah, his whole thing was like, if you didn't see nothing, you haven't seen nothing yet. You will never see anything like this. This was also, I think, right after the co-screenwriter for Fan Four Stick gave a great like detail of like the movie that they wrote but weren't able to make, which is like them. The final act would have been them and Latveria against Doom and a whole army of Doom bots, and they would have had a legit Fantastic Car and the Herbie bot. But obviously, the studio wasn't willing to put as much money to make that type of movie. They wanted to make the shitty piece of shit that we ended up seeing. So, but I wish we could have had X. I think you reached out to him before. He's busy. Shouts to XO and Van Black Variant. They covered this as well. But because there's that part in the trailer when the Sinister Six shows up where it looks like Peter Parker's in a suit, and then he transforms into the Iron Spider. Is that kind of supposed to be maybe he's in like the timeline where he's got Parker Industries? I'm not too familiar with it, but I know that's the thing where like he takes over and it's like the Tony Stark in like a certain arc, right? Where like Spider-Man technology is now
so
thing. And given that they've been making him Tony Stark since he showed up, essentially, he's like the Tony Stark protege. You think they're going in that direction for that kind of clip we saw?
You know what? I don't think so, but I wouldn't be surprised. I don't think they were thinking that much in a booking. You know what I mean? I think they're taking the WWE route as far as like what we really focus on, like Roman Reigns. That's our main priority because that's making us the most money. So if this suit being the Iron Suit is just what it is, like it was a donation that was given by Tony Stark's war criminal, then that's what we going for. You feel me? I think it was just probably that. It could be, man. We honestly, this is the worst kept secret probably in comic movie history because they've been saying for
this
months
trailer.
now.
This trailer was a CM Punk going to AEW. It was like we all knew that they were going to get Willem Dafoe, Alfred Molina, and then reportedly Kirsten Dunst, Emma Stone, Andrew Garfield, Tobey Maguire, pretty much Jamie Foxx. Were all supposed to at least show up or make an appearance, and then the trailer confirmed it with Alfred Molina at least, and a Green Goblin bomb, and the Strike of Lightning, which is a new version of Electro, but
real quick,
be Jamie Foxx. Yeah.
Not to cut you off, it's sort of like the Tyrese and the Billionaire thing. You know who leaked the 3 Spider-Mans were going to be in it? Jamie Foxx,
right?
Because I remember they announced. No, it was Jamie Foxx first. I remember because when they announced he was supposed to be in the movie, he went to IG ASAP and posted all 3 Spider-Mans, and within 5 minutes he took down the post. Promise to God, I'm gonna send you it, bro. Obviously the post isn't the post isn't there, but the fact that it happened within 5 minutes, he took it down.
God, it's just funny that it's Jamie Foxx because the whole fuck it, we'll just do it right now real quick because Tom Holland, the clip of Tom Holland being like, everyone got mad that I was the one that leaked stuff, and Zendaya's like, which is like, girl, why are you overselling these jokes? Why, like, you know, men are mad because that's not them in the spot with Zendaya, like you, like everyone else. But shouts to Tom Holland, my guy, is Short King out there representing for us. And women. I mean, there was the tweet last week by someone who's like with the Zoe Kravitz, Channing Tatum, where like he's kind of like he might have said something and she's dying, and then like the woman's caption is like, "Me when I'm trying to get the dick," and it just led to believe that like women will oversell jokes for a guy that they're into, which I think is the case more than anything because like first of all, everyone thinks I'm funny. You said it. Guys at BRP will say it. Guys at Show Your Workshops, them will say it. I'll never say I'm funny. I think women will say I'm funny or at least laugh around me. But again, how much of it is like genuine or their ulterior motives? So it's always the thing. Like Tom Holland was obviously like in love with Zendaya the minute he saw her, and it probably took her a while for her to come around, given that she was that she was dating Jacob Elordi, aka Nate from Euphoria, and he's like 6'8" compared to Tom Holland. So he should be Harry Osborn, or at least Scott Summers when they decided to do the X-Men. But don't take my ideas too seriously because they're just kind of good. But anyway, this movie's supposed to come out in December.
I was waiting for you to say anything else about that.
What else did you want me to say? No, what else?
If a female that you think is bad tells you a joke,
if the situation reversed. If they kept looking, all right. So if they say something they think is funny and then look at me like to laugh, and I don't.
That's not how it works.
And like, no, that's what I'm saying. I'm like, and I don't. So like, that's what I'm like. Did you think I was? What it's like? Should I say? Like, what's this situation? Because the whole thing where like Zendaya just seems to be laughing anytime Tom Holland says anything. Maybe it's his accent because he's British. So I'm like, oh, they talk so funny about that, darling.
No, it
ain't. What is it then?
And they deleted the tweet. I was about to put it on the Summer Jam screen. They deleted the goddamn tweet.
The Zendaya Tom Holland thing? Or what?
Let me see. No, I think I found it. But yeah, I'll probably post it on the Twitters. But
so all right, because you're asking right. No, so like in scenario, let's say old girl tells me a joke. Am I gonna be slapping my knee like Chappelle's son watching Kevin Hart? Maybe.
Wait, old girl. I'm talking about a different girl, bruh.
No, I'm saying I'm just saying like if a woman tells me a joke that I'm obviously into, am I gonna laugh at her joke even though I think it's bad? Yeah. Like you said, like are you gonna watch? I'm saying like if like I'm saying a scenario. Let's say old girl tells me a joke, I don't think it's funny, but I laugh anyway because she got that ass and them things. Yeah, I'm gonna do the Shawn Michaels versus the racist Terry Bollea, flopping all over the place, punching the air. Like, if I haven't, been before, if I know this is what it takes to get there, then yeah. Then maybe after a certain point, I'm like, But you also say I don't sell your jokes, so I'm like, what are you trying to say with?
You better sell them goddamn jokes.
You told me to dance earlier. You told me to dance.
Yeah, you got that. The same thing. You gonna have to dance with them. You gonna have to dance with them, boy. They gonna make you dance, bro. I don't know.
But yeah,
That's
no.
what that should be a new wave. All the simps, while y'all out here doing goofy shit, tattletelling and all that, y'all need to go ahead on and just laugh at a girl's joke, even if it ain't funny.
I think I
Can't
always
think of
find
no
to
funny
do. I
jokes a
think.
woman would say.
Well, the one that the woman had in the tweet about Channing Tatum and Zoe Kravitz was why did the chicken cross the road? And then she did like 2 posted that picture of Zoe Kravitz with that caption. So it was like if a woman told a basic joke, basically like the Pulp Fiction, like Mama Tomato, Daddy Tomato, Baby Tomato. The baby tomato starts lagging. Father Tomato goes back, squashes it, and says, "Ketchup."
Dog, this man be remembering the most outrageous shit, I swear to God.
I just watched that about like a month ago with certain woman. So yeah.
Hey Jerome, we appreciate that. Oh, that's Trucker. Hey Trucker,
Hey,
go tell them people, hey man.
Shouts to Trucker Gamer. I can't believe this man's name is Jerome. Does that say Jerome Joseph? Man's got 2 first names.
The only reason why I think that's him,
Because he's got
yeah,
a
the
truck
only
in
reason
the
I think
picture.
it's him because I see a truck.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's the only reason why I said shouts out to Trucker Gamer.
And that is him.
But,
I
hey,
hope
go
so.
tell a friend, they tell a friend. It probably is him. Yo, anybody that's listening, once again, I'm gonna do a lot of plugs because I checked our numbers. They decent. So let's get the motherfuckers up. Go ahead, tell a friend. Ours, they decent on the YouTube.
No, our numbers are on the bottom of the barrel. How'd you check?
It don't matter.
You don't
They
got
decent.
You just making shit
On
up.
YouTube, yes, I do.
Oh, on YouTube, yeah, you're able to check.
Why would you bury your? That's what I'm saying.
Because we got to keep the
shit.
Because we got to keep the
You
shit
can't bury
underground
your
before
own shit,
the.
bro.
Yeah, we got to keep the shit underground. No one can find out about this show. This is like Wayne's World before it blew up.
Somebody and you see what happened with them. All right.
Yeah, they were wearing Reebok. He had an all Reebok fit and selling Pizza Hut.
I just remember because he took a slice of that damn pizza and he oversold that motherfucker.
Like
he just
Caleb
like
Braxton's
me, I don't
jokes.
fuck with
Like you and Caleb Braxton's jokes.
Oh shit, man! Listen, the
See, there we go.
come on.
This is what I mean.
5 seconds into that motherfucker.
See, this is what I'm saying when you're Mr. 450. Man, quit laughing at these jokes. They ain't funny. Caleb Braxton comes walking around. Let's put on The Office. Ah!
My nigga, it's Caleb Braxton. What you want? She be saying stupid shit, but it's Caleb Braxton.
You told me earlier you're in LA and you said look around.
But these bras ain't employed.
Oh, okay. Shoot. No, we're not. All right, I'm segueing this right out of here. Here we go. All right. Spider-Man No Way Home again, December. Hopefully the Delta variant gets the fuck out of here so we can see this movie, so we can talk about this movie, so I can watch Tom Holland, who again is the best Spider-Man ever. Do you think there will be any type of Miles Morales nod in this movie, or because again they already had the one with the sort of nod with Donald Glover in Homecoming? Okay.
Yeah.
I would hope so.
So I gave my theory, right? If y'all don't know, once again, Banks versus Davis. I'm gonna plug the shit out of this podcast. Banks versus Davis. If you go back, I'll find the episodes and I'll tweet it. But I said
definitely
they might
year oh, not year because we didn't start. It was definitely like December, November, I think, when this was starting.
And I had that theory because they still have yet to say anything about Spider-Man, Miles Morales too, and that movie made way over his budget.
No, they announced that it's a new director, and it's weird because it's the guy who wrote The Expendables. So I'm like, all right, that's a weird choice. And I think with that, they're just probably writing it. And then again, it's an animated movie, and with that type of animation, they announced that movie 2015, and it didn't come out till late 2018, if I'm not mistaken. Because I'm pretty sure they announced that. I'm pretty sure they announced it after they were like, we're going to stop making Andrew Garfield ones, but it was before they announced Tom Holland being cast, or it was maybe at the same time. It was just like Andrew Garfield's not going to be Spider-Man. Marvel's maybe thinking about teaming up with Sony, and then Phil Lord and Chris Miller, or Chris Lord and Phil Miller, I always forget which one. I think I said it the first time correctly, are going to make a Spider-Man animated film. But yeah,
I'm saying it might be integrated in some way because apparently around the time of production, because there was a lot of leaks, it was some kid that looks it looked like he had like a whole 3D outfit or whatever the mocaption outfit on, or they had him covered up so they won't show the suit.
Oh, trying to hide him.
It was on set. I'll probably post it on the pod Twitter. Yeah, I'll post it on the pod. That's the only picture they have. I'll post it on the pod Twitter, and I'll send it to you as well. Y'all can look it up. But it was some kid that they have no casting for. That was just like, wrapped up like they hiding his suit. Maybe it's a stunt double. I don't know. But you have to do something just based on like, if we're gonna play with the multiverse, you might as well go all out. Like you said, it's that whole Sony deal because Tom Hardy keeps saying like, Venom, we gotta, basically saying we gotta get him into the Spider-Verse, and then obviously the giveaway for all this should be J. Jonah Jameson at the end of Far From Home. Like
Not
that
even
should
that.
be a giveaway. Go ahead, but that
Michael,
was the giveaway to everything.
Nah, to me, it's Michael Keaton in the Morbius trailer. And again, it had the, but again, even that, it had the old Sam Raimi Spider-Man suit on, like the graffiti on the wall. But again, it's Sony. This continuity is going to be fucked up like Fast and Furious. Like, wait, what? This one takes place here, but then the J. Jonah Jameson, he didn't look the same. And I don't know if he was really supposed to be portraying the same J. Jonah Jameson, given that it's like J.K. Simmons showed up. They didn't have the wig, but he had a mustache, not the mustache. So they're like, you're gonna play a variant of the old J. Jonah Jameson. Essentially, is what it looked like to me.
Right, but anyhow, he's in the universe. You're absolutely right. But they have him in whatever universe, but he's here. So who's to say they can't? And then, like you said, going back to Morbius, and they keep that movie. God damn, that movie keep getting pushed back. Fuck.
It's got your that and Venom,
Maximum Carnage or whatever.
Hey, you can keep that shit. You can keep both of them. I don't want any of them.
Yeah, I could watch it, but the fact that they keep pushing it back, they like, we don't really care about it. But bruh, they're scared. Pushed back at least 3 times.
They're scared about COVID still. They don't want to. They have all of it riding on Spider-Man right now. So as we get closer and closer, they're going to hope Spider-Man can make all the money, and then they can release Venom after and still kind of clean up, essentially. Like, but I don't think there's anything else I don't want to say. Like I said, the Sinister Six teases were pretty good.
Spider-Man coming out. I mean, mind you, shouts out to Black Variant again. Yeah, no, mind you about Black Variant and you saying the same thing, the whole virus. I think they're gonna still try to put it out. They like fuck a virus, bro.
Oh,
because
yeah.
I mean, she is coming out next week. Like, they still gonna try to put it out because they know people gonna go. Like me included. I ain't been to the movies in 2 years. I don't give a fuck about no virus, bro. I'm gonna go. I think they just know, like, we gonna put this shit out regardless. I highly doubt, unless movie theaters shut down, they gonna put this movie out. Unless movie theaters shut down, they gonna put it out regardless. Like, nah, fuck all that, bro. Because we got to get the bread for it. Because I don't know if the budget is up. If you want, I can look it up, or you can look it up, Stat Guy, and see how much that budget is. That budget had to be at least 290, 250
for Spider-Man.
Yeah, because you got the VFX, you got the CG,
yeah,
and then more importantly, you got to pay in this order. Who got paid? It was, I don't even think Tom Holland probably got the most money because you got to factor in
Yeah, it's not even
Jamie
listed
Foxx
yet.
there, Oscar winner. You got Willem Dafoe there. Yeah, because it's going to be up there. It's like, it's going to be, but mind you, they're going to make their money back within a day. Like, virus or not, me included, you including maybe, people are going to see this movie the first day. They're going to make their money back and then some within the first weekend because I don't know what else is coming out around that time, and it really don't matter. Like, it don't matter what's coming out around that time. So they're going to make their money back. But the people that are getting paid the most, I don't even, shit, maybe Tom Holland is number one because he's the star. I don't even think he got the most money out of everybody.
Tobey Maguire would probably ask a shit ton to come back. Andrew Garfield would probably as well, due to him making a lot of smaller film choices. Due to him being like wanting to be an artist. It would probably be Tobey Maguire, Andrew Garfield, Jamie Foxx, Tom Holland, Willem Dafoe. Because Alfred Molina, he was in it's going to be on HBO later this month. Oh, well, later in September, because we're almost near September. A Promising Young Woman. Really good movie. I recommend it. He's in it for like 2 scenes, but the scene he's primarily in, he is just like on fucking 1. And again, he's coming back to be Doc Ock, like I said, 17 years later. But they probably have to pay Zendaya too because she's an Emmy winner from Euphoria, and also, I mean, Space Jam. Malcolm Marie. Yeah, so this budget, aside from all the VFX, again, Benedict Cumberbatch. It's so funny to me. That's what I was forgetting to say. That Benedict Cumberbatch, Shakespearean trained actor, is like Doctor Strange in these movies. I bet he actually kind of enjoys it, but also sees it as a paycheck. But I do think he sees it to like have fun because, like, you see him in the trailer, he's wearing hoodie, snow pants. It's like it's snowing in the Sanctum Sanctorum. Like, what the hell is going on? This movie just looks interesting. And as a Spider-Man's probably my favorite superhero, like without a doubt. So I'm really looking forward to it. But there's just a lot to go on.
I didn't even factor in Tobey Maguire. He probably said, no, I need at least 15. Because he probably ain't doing this shit. So they probably had enough to win for him.
He's an asshole too. Fuck him. That's one reason I don't really like those movies as much, because I just hate Tobey Maguire because he's such a prick. I know your best friend Leonardo is your best friend is Leonardo DiCaprio and you're jealous, but like, shut up. All right. He passed on Spider-Man. You didn't. You got it because he passed on it. Is what happened.
Which isn't a bad deal. It's like, bro, like.
No, he made it his thing to get the roles that Leo passed on. Essentially, he got Leo's scraps, or like what he didn't want.
No, I wouldn't even call it scraps. I understand what you're trying to say, but I wouldn't even call it scrap. It's just like, yo, let's say if you are an A-list actor, being you specifically, I'm not going to do this because I'm going to do the artsy movie and get paid just about the same money as I would with this blockbuster or something, just because I've been more famous than you for a longer period of time. It's like, yo, Banks, you want to take this role? Yeah.
Well, you'd have to.
But some people, they can't accept that, even if that's your man's.
Yeah. Well, I'm saying you have to put it in a role where, like, again, they're 2 white guys who again started out at the same time. They almost can go up for the same exact role. It's not like a thing now where you and I in Hollywood. Well, and like what really should be the version of Hollywood is like anyone can get any role. Like that's how Hollywood should. Not to the extent of like how Scarlett Johansson sees it, but you know what I mean. We're like a movie like has like a blank template for a character. They're just looking for any actor to put in it, and they come to me. I say no. They should also come to you, not someone who also just looks like me.
Yeah, exactly. So that's not a bad deal. Obviously, he probably wanted to be. I don't know. He wanted to be on whatever Titanic. Pick a movie that Leonardo DiCaprio has done and that insane resume that he has. But taking him Spider-Man as a consolation prize isn't that bad.
Mm-hmm. And he had to beat Jake Gyllenhaal to get it. Funny enough, who would be Mysterio again? A guy who did it. Fam said that. Shouts to Fam. He said he thinks Mysterio is coming back to be like the final one in the Sinister Six. I'm like, I don't think so. Just due to Jake Gyllenhaal really being like, I'm only gonna do one of these. I'll be in one, but just one. Like, I don't care what your deals are. I'm not doing another. Like,
Bro, you keep forgetting though. You money talk.
Go ahead.
Bullshit walk a marathon. Like money talks shit walks a marathon. Like, bro.
Well, I mean, if he's not,
so he's
I was gonna say, like, if he's not showering, the money's not important. So his water bill is probably super low.
But he looked like a weirdo. I don't know. He probably buy like used women's underwear or some shit. I don't know.
What? Okay, all right. Let's segue right out of here. Another great trailer dropped this week. Even though it wasn't really a trailer, it was someone had a great tweet. I forget who it was. I think it was someone you and I might have followed. Where someone said that Drake dropped the NWO released version of a CLB trailer. It looked very ISIS-esque as well. It just says CLB September 3rd written on cardboard. So this is Drake's certified. What did I say? ISIS?
You can't say that. Not because it's offensive to anybody, but because they.
Are you scarred?
Hey man, it is what. Oh, ban me. You know where I'm at.
Okay. All right. You can't say that.
I'm fine.
Certified. God, dude, shut. Drake's certified lover boy finally, after he dropped the trailer last October saying January 2021. January came around, he said, my ACL is acting up. Gonna have to push this shit back. And everyone's like, you don't need an ACL to release music. But hey, and as I tweeted, unfortunately, the relationship hasn't ended this week. And the Six God heard my prayers. He said, you are a proud disciple of mine. I will give you this in your time of need to help you through these dark times. The Six God always guides the way. But what do you think? Are you, because like you said, you don't give a fuck. You just want to hear it.
Yeah, I'm not from your era. Like with me, it's just like give me the music. I don't need all these semantics and bullshit and weird. Like, trust me, his marketing employees are always great because there's always some weird, mysterious shit, and his music is nowhere near that. Like he doing this shit like like he's Sting from WCW with the release.
Yeah,
shit.
he did it. He during a sports, like the opening of Sports Center, it's like Shohei Ohtani, and then and like you see the cardboard. I'm like, hey, Shohei Ohtani and Drake in the same shit. Sign me up.
But the fact that it happened, and then we haven't heard anything else since then, it's just like it's just weird.
You mean like him confirm it?
And this came from
IG?
The fact that that'll never happen. But still, the fact that it happened this way one time, and we haven't seen it again since yesterday, it's like, all right, bro. But still, I mean, this is the new age where you really don't even need to drop a single. He could have just dropped the album, and everybody would have been out here crying. But the fact that they think it's probably going to be mostly R&B songs is wild. We got another run in. It's a Royal Rumble today.
Hollywood fooled me.
Joe.
Oh, look who showed up.
Hollywood fooled me.
Podrick Strong himself.
Man, look. Go ahead. I ain't gonna stop you.
No, I'm just saying you everyone should know the voice because they know the name. Skyhigheph, 1/3 of the Black Announcetable, one of the top podcasts in the game. Again, Patreon, only $5. You get exclusive content I've been on in the past. Banks has been on recently. Eve, you had some words to say about Fast and Furious, particularly Fast 9, F9, the Fast Saga. What do you have to say? Have you seen it at least?
I seen it last week.
Oh, okay.
On Roku TV. You feel me? I did not spend my hard-earned money. I did not spend my black dollars on that film.
I spent my white dollars on it. that Friday, and then I spent them again last week to rent it on my PlayStation.
What? So nah, bro. Hold on.
Wait a minute.
Wait.
$20. Again, everyone thinks I'm Davis DiBiase, but no, I had to watch the crystal clear version, no interruption. Why Banks and I did our commentary track for it.
Boy, no way, boy. Boy, no way. Boy, no
Yeah.
way, boy. You paid 2 times?
Oh yeah, and I'll have to pay a third because I gotta buy it on DVD to complete my collection.
Why? Does this have to be in the collection?
Because I have all the others.
Nah,
Even
bro,
if
you gotta
it's-
leave
even
this
if it's-
one out, man.
Nah, I know. Even though I hate it with a passion. It brings tears to my eyes when I think about it. I still have to at least do it.
My boy, you gotta leave this one out. Get the bootleg or something. Have cows anymore.
But it's gonna be the director's cut. They got additional 7 minutes.
Bro. An additional 7 minutes of that movie. Is that what you want? Like,
Nah,
come
Banks
on.
and I just spoke on it. It's about to be some bullshit. It'll be like 2 minutes of John Cena, and then the rest will be the rest is said to be like more Tyrese and Ludacris, or Chris Bridges, as Banks only calls him. He doesn't call him Ludacris anymore.
I don't blame you.
But yeah, what did you think as someone who's not a fan of these films?
It's not even that I'm not a fan of the film, because I love the franchise, the Fast franchise. But this one in particular, I didn't see a need for it whatsoever. One,
Which is true.
why is Vin Diesel so damn strong? His sliders was turned all the way up, and this nigga had the strength of fucking like Bobby Lashley. And that shit didn't make no damn sense, bro.
Banks and I, again, you know that we've been doing Fast Some. We're doing the commentary tracks, breaking it down like Mel Kiper, Todd McShay.
I've been tapped in.
Yep, appreciate it. But it's because Vin Diesel, one, is Triple H. He sees himself as one thing when he's really another. Also, anytime this man's family is in danger, his rage meter fills all the way up. It gives him this super strength to just defeat anyone, whether it's Dwayne Johnson or like 18 guys, as we saw in Fast 9, where he just like kicks them through the bar, like he pulls the whole chains. And
I was like, bro, how you just pulled this chain down and destroyed a power plant? What is happening, bro?
If someone went after your sister or your father, wouldn't you like rage up and like just throw them into like the Empire State Building or like?
Bro, let me tell you something. I'm strong. You feel me? I'm a strong guy, but I'm not pulling an entire.
Yeah, you'd be
power
mixing
plant down.
concrete all day. I mean, cement all day to make.
Word, like I could if I slap somebody across the face, I can do damage. You know what I'm saying? Like, I have concussive power, but I'm not pulling chains down and destroying the whole power plant.
Don't say yourself short. I bet you could.
I was like, bro,
because I guarantee you're taller than Vin Diesel.
How tall is Vin Diesel? 5'7"?
He's at least 5'4" without his Apple box.
Yeah, no, I got Vin Diesel by some inches, man. Pause if need be.
But yeah, because famously, all right, so you say you're a fan, but it's because that day on Twitter when the clip was released, right before the movie came out, and you came at me. Bro. You came at me specifically. You added me and be like, "You excited for this shit?" Like, you guys again, king and queens of the drops, blackannounceTable. Like, don't you ever get tired of this shit? You came at me like that,
bro.
On some Fast and Furious.
But you on some shit where you didn't want to look at any like trailers.
Yep, after a certain point, I stopped looking at trailers. I still didn't see that clip.
But you have to see what I'm like. You have to see what I'm seeing right now, because that's how absurd it was. They were driving through the streets of London.
No, it's Edinburgh, so I believe it's Scotland.
Oh, okay, my fault. Drew McIntyre salute.
Yeah.
So they're driving through Scotland. This man Cena's in a sports car. Vin Diesel hops in like a fucking U-Haul. You know what I'm saying? And they're keeping up with each other. And I'm like, bro, this makes zero sense.
It's because the roads in Scotland are so shitty, the way they're like constructed.
Bro. Bro, boy, no way, boy. That's all. That's all
No,
I can say to this.
which is the name of the latest Black Announce Table, where you can find on Apple Podcasts, Spotify, all of that.
Bro.
But no, you were right, because like when I got to that scene, I was the same thing. I'm like, why is John Cena's car going like
40 miles an hour.
Yeah, I know it's like
Yeah,
because he can't fit in it. It's because he's like the size of a mountain.
Or is this a
but
4-cylinder engine?
Or is there no gas? Is the battery almost dead? What's going on? And then the magnets, which I like hated from the get go because I think magnets are dumb. It was used in Six Underground, which is a terrible movie as well. Like magnets aren't cool. Like let's just stop with magnets. And that I do agree. That scene
turned the magnet on, and like she brought the car through like a storefront.
Yep.
To the other side of the street. I'm like, bro, ain't no way, boy. You expect me to believe there was no casualties? There was nobody in the store.
That John Cena himself isn't killed in that crash, like going into the car. Yeah, I mean, we all know that John Cena is the king of the comeback, so it makes sense. You can't kill John Cena because he'll just, pop up, shoulder block, spin out, powerbomb, 5-knuckle shuffle.
4 moves to doom.
That's what I mean. Like John Cena had to sell for Vin Diesel. He had to put Vin Diesel over. That's where I was like, no, that's where I was legit fed up. Like, you mean to tell me Vin Diesel just beats John Cena's ass like he's Brock Lesnar at SummerSlam 2014?
Yes.
That's where I was legit. Like, ain't no fuck. Like, let me find Vin Diesel on the street. I'm legit. Okay, because he and I will be eye level because he's just as short as I am, and he won't be in shape because he doesn't have the CGI to enhance him with those cutoff shirts. Nah, Vin Diesel and I, we got problems.
Smoked.
He got cooked.
He got cooked. Word.
He got cooked. But again, it just shows how classy he is, how professional he is, that he would allow that to happen.
And then everybody looked old. Like, I feel like this is the first time I was like, damn.
I will agree with you.
Old. I was like literally every Bow Wow looked old. The guy that played the guy that was the main nigga in Tokyo Drift looked old.
Yeah, Han King looked old
as hell.
Yep.
Literally every Chris Bridges, Tyrese.
Yeah.
I was like, damn, everybody looks old, bro.
Yeah. Michelle Rodriguez and Vin Diesel, definitely, those two looked weathered the most. Was Michelle Rodriguez and Vin Diesel? They looked.
Michelle Rodriguez. They looked like I can't remember any memorable lines from her. Like all I remember is her saying like, "Your mama used to, you feel me? This is what your dad makes your mom." I was like, "What?" I was like, "This is all you have to offer me."
Yeah. No, I said last week she was definitely phoning it in. She was collecting the paycheck. That was ring chasing Michelle Rodriguez.
And then like young Vin Diesel on the racetrack, fucking with the bad acting, talking about that's my dad. I was like, bro, your dad really smoked himself because he had gambling debts, bro. I was like, what kind of
I don't think it's gambling debts. I don't think it's because the Toretto family.
It's funny because
I'm saying like the Toretto family in the first one at least owned what looked like an auto parts shop. I mean, like a garage, like where they fixed up cars, and then they own like what looked like a Toretto's market because Paul Walker, Brian O'Connor talks to him on Neptune's Night, I believe, or Fisherman's Wharf in that scene where he's like, no way you pay for all that shit under the hood by doing tune-ups and selling groceries. And that's in the first one. And at the time, that's how they meet when he buys the tuna is at Toretto's mini store. Mm-hmm. But yeah, no, the dad was probably in debt, and then Dom later keeps it afloat by stealing DVDs and VCRs in 2001 to keep all of it together, where his dad in 1988 was struggling.
And that's the other shit. I'm like, bro, look how far niggas have deviated from stealing fucking DVD players.
No, but that went out the window when they were driving safes through Rio. That went out the window then.
Well, which one was that? 5?
Fast 5, yes.
Bro.
Everyone can't hate after that. That's the whole point of us breaking down. Like, you can't be mad about them jumping cars out of planes, from building to building, fighting drones, when they legit carried a whole safe through Rio. After that, everything's up for grabs because, again, them driving on ice, all of it. No, you shouldn't be them even going to space. Like, everyone's like, oh, what are they going to do? Fucking go to space? Yes, because if they can drive,
destroy a satellite or something like that.
Yep. Mm-hmm.
And even then, I was like, bro, why does this make the most sense? Like, why
does this? Yeah. The most sense? Of all things.
You mean to tell me that Bow Wow
and the guy from Tokyo Drift schemed up some schematics to send Tyrese and Ludacris to outer space, and that makes the most sense in the whole movie, bruh. Boy, no way, boy.
Yeah, I mean, hey, we've seen Elon Musk and like Jeff Bezos go to space, so shit. That's for like, hey,
That's just
why
like
not
billionaire,
Tyrese?
like dick swinging contest where it's like, bro, I could go to the moon too, type shit.
Yeah, and they were thinking the same thing. All you need is a Pontiac Fiero and some fucking rocket engines. What's stopping you, Eve? What's stopping you?
No, I don't belong in outer space, bro. Boy, no way, boy. You feel me? I ain't going out of space, man. I'm good.
Do you have a favorite Fast and Furious film by chance?
Too Fast, Too Furious is
Okay.
my favorite. Then after that, it's the first one. Just because, like, I remember seeing it. It was like summer '03, and like back then, my aunt I used to go over there to her apartment, and that was all she had. Like, all she had was a DVD player and Fast and the Furious, and we watched that shit every single day. And we learned the words, like, bro, like,
Yep.
it was, you feel me? So that movie is special, and then Too Fast, Too Furious is special too, because I don't know, it's just my favorite one. Like, I don't know why. That was where we get introduced to Tyrese and the whole fucking I'm hungry. You know what I'm saying? I was like, all right,
Yeah, we
I
hungry.
can
Yeah,
get jiggy
and you know
with
that
this.
Ja Rule. It was supposed to be Ja Rule instead of Tyrese. You know that, right?
Yeah, but you know, Ja Rule
Yeah.
is a master of bad business moves.
Yeah. He's got the worst managers in history.
Yeah, nah, Ja Rule is the king of bad business. So he said no, like a dumbass, and now the
He was
could've been
Baron
you, Ja
Corbin
Rule.
like 2 months ago when Baron Corbin made the bad deals.
Hey man, like, well, part of me probably thinking like, damn, like Ja Rule. What if roles were reversed? You feel me? And Ja Rule did what Tyrese did, and then Tyrese did what Ja Rule did. You know what I'm saying? So if we got to see Tyrese in like the Firefest documentary, and Ja
Well, I think that
Rule
would
was like, Fast
I
and
think that would
Furious
happen
and
anyway,
Transformers.
just based off Tyrese's interactions in the last like 6-7 years on social media. I think that's up the pipeline for him. But no, if Ja Rule's in Too Fast Furious, it probably stops right then and there because he can't act, and at least Tyrese has charisma, has a personality that is likable on film.
Nah, this is true. This is very true. Tyrese is probably the most likable. Even in this one, I was like, damn, like, just get me to the Tyrese clips, man. Show me make
Nah.
this a Tyrese highlight reel.
No, he delivers in this one, and that's the thing Banks and I agreed on from the start, even though we both disliked the movies. At least Tyrese was the shining light of it. Banks for him pointing out the obvious of like, look at what all we've done. Me for him just like actually showing up like committed to do his role compared to like everyone else phoning it in, or Vin Diesel again and his ego trying to be the superstar and outact John Cena, which didn't happen because John Cena outacted circles around him when they had scenes together.
Facts. He just got his
And like
ass
you,
whooped, that's all.
yeah. But are you at least looking forward to Fast 10? Are you gonna come
on,
to the
man.
theater to see
Boy,
what
no way,
Banks and I? Banks and I are
no
gonna
way.
try to see it at the same. We're gonna try to see it together. Will you join us?
Are they really making a Fast 10?
Oh yeah, most definitely. 2023.
Oh god! Look, I'll tell you what. If this super soldier serum don't kill me by then I'll bring my I'll bring my pod equipment and I will record live in the movie theater my reaction.
Oh, that
to
would
this
be
film,
amazing.
man.
That sounds like a Patreon
like a
exclusive.
bootleg
Again,
DVD.
$5.
For
Patreon, Black
$5, I
Announcetable.
react live to Fast
From the
10.
theater. Someone, are you recording? Shut up. I'm trying to watch this shit.
I don't see what else they could do. And then they had quote unquote Paul Walker. They had his skyline pull up at the end. I was like,
Yeah,
come
they
on,
had
man.
I was gonna ask this to Banks. Do you think they'll do some spy hunter shit with Brian O'Connor in Fast 10 where it's like the car, he's there but only in the car? They don't show him get out of the car. It's just
my
Brian's
God.
always in the car.
Please.
Do you think they'll go that far?
No,
Boy,
somebody
no
definitely
way,
smoking
boy.
crack if they do that. Hell no, bro.
Yeah, nah, that's bugged out.
I got slap box with Vin Diesel if that happened.
I think they're gonna do it.
That is
I can see
fucked
Vin
up.
Diesel being. If they did it once, they could do it a whole movie. I can see him doing it. And he has to honk like yes.
Nah, I think
Like, are you
it's
ready?
the
Brian,
whole.
you ready?
It's the,
Yo, that's like a drum line.
what
Where
if
they
they
was
make
like,
him
yo,
into cars?
That's what I'm saying. That's what he's gonna be. He's gonna interact, or like, he's gonna be a fucking transformer essentially.
No, they put his face on the car like cars. You know, how it was like
Oh no no no
looked
no
like a
no!
person's face.
Now that's too.
They put Paul
That's
Walker
too
on there.
dark. That's too.
yo, chill. That's
Like the Fiend mask on the title, like.
so they put his face on.
Not the Lancer.
no. Face car off. Face. Oh, boom off a car. So they'll have like someone be like a physical stand-in for Paul Walker, but except the face, it'll be the front bumper of a Skyline. Is what you're trying to say? We're
I
going to
did do it
hell.
last time.
Yeah, they ain't got no
He was
choice
his
but to
brother
do it.
last time, right?
Oh, last time to finish the scenes that that were left, they had it. Both his brothers, I believe, his older brother and his younger brother. One, his face really resembled Paul Walker's, and the other had the same build. So they CGI'd Paul Walker's face onto the other. Like what they, if you saw the movie The Irishman a couple years ago with Al Pacino, Robert De Niro, where they de-aged them, at least in the face. That was like the early cutting edge version of that. And Marvel's done it a couple times with Robert Downey Jr., Michael Douglas, so on. It's kind of the thing to do in Hollywood. They did it. I think they did it. No, not because it almost for a split second looked like they did try to do that with Han, but I'm like, oh no, they just put a wig on him, a very bad wig for the flashback scene.
That motherfucker Han looked a million years old. I was like, God damn, Sensei. I was like, are you okay? You good?
I mean, you saw him on Power. Wasn't he on Power?
Who, Han?
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Was he on Power?
Yeah, he was the lawyer. I stopped watching when he got on.
Yeah, he was one of the detectives. Yeah, the lawyer.
Han was the oh shit, that was Han. That's crazy. I don't even know. They put him in a suit and a badge. I didn't even know.
He was like, he's not eating chips. We're like, they the same guy.
Nigga, where your Lexus at?
Where's your Toyota Supra?
Oh, here we go. Green. But yeah, this nigga Han, man. I was like, bro, why are you so old? Who's this young bitch that's driving this?
You're like everyone when they saw fucking CM Punk last week. Damn, you old as shit. Like,
boy,
or Edge. Anytime he's come back in the last 2 years, because the Just for Men hair job they've done for Edge is horrendous,
Remarkable.
as you would say. No, it's horrible. He looks up. His hair looks like Dr. Pepper.
Hey man, and you need some what's that shit? Mousse, some hair souffle, whatever the fuck. You just need a hydrate, bro. White people.
No, it's just the hair
Just
coloring looks
putting,
bad.
Water in your hair is hydration. You know what I'm saying?
No. Well, I do be doing that sometimes. That's how it stays the way it is right now. Is just do nothing
Water in a comb.
No, but then I use mousse like every other day. I'll use product every other day. Then other stuff. But yeah, no, I have a roll brush I use, not a comb. Don't use combs.
Oh, I think I might do that in some Patreon content. I'm gonna gather like 4 or 5 white people and just question them. Like, I just got questions for y'all.
Yeah. I'll be honest. Again, I'm always honest because I'm so anti-white person while being a white person.
What's up is anti-white.
Legit, like I hate my own skin.
But that's.
I be trying to peel this shit off like Venom
symbiote.
symbiote.
You know, at least you're aware, you're alert. You know what I'm saying?
Oh, 100%. Come on.
You know,
I wouldn't be where I am if I wasn't. But is there anything else you want to say before you leave? Thanks for stopping by, first of all.
No, of course. After I saw the movie last week, I hit back because I was like, bro, whenever y'all talking about this, please.
Yeah, the plan was to have you come on during this exact show, the post show, when we're wrapping up Fast Summer, was to get your thoughts because you that day on Twitter, everyone X was getting at me. Cal, we had Cal earlier on in the episode give his thoughts as well, and you have to go and listen to that. It's in the first. It'll be in the first hour, the last 10 minutes of the first hour.
I'm gonna tap in for sure. But this is definitely, and bro, I don't make a fuss about movies because I'm not a movie buff. You know what I'm saying? So I don't really be caring. As long as I see shit blow up, I'm okay. But to me,
Yeah,
this is
you like
one
to
of the
be in the
movies where
loop.
I was like, nah, boy. I was like, boy, no way, boy. You feel me? I was like, really? I was like, what's really happening here? I felt the same way at the end of Suicide Squad when I seen they was fighting a fucking starfish. I
Well,
was
that's
like,
because see, that's all right. That's what pisses me off because Chris Ann will know, as because she's like us and watches a bunch of stuff. But you'll just get in to be like, all right, so what's going on? You go, you tell me that you go in like open minded, not knowing a damn thing, so your reaction will be more genuine. But,
yeah.
like you went in, did you go in Infinity War or Endgame not knowing shit, and then you're like, man, this shit's terrible, and I'm like, you don't know shit. I was so pissed when you had like commentary on that where you're like, man, it killed Tony Stark. Like, the fuck they do that for? I'm like,
I fell
oh.
asleep during. I'll be honest with you.
No,
I
you
missed a
fell asleep.
good
That's what it
portion of
was. I
Endgame,
was like,
bro.
yeah. I was so pissed when I was listening to that episode. I was like, this motherfucker.
It was
The
funny because I
audacity.
remember going to the theater and like the one scene I remember them fighting Thanos, and then the next scene they was at this nigga's funeral. I was like, yo, what?
And it ain't Thanos' funeral.
I was like, yo, what's going on here? So I really might have to watch Endgame again. I seen
Now you
what
gotta
was
start
my
from the
Endgame?
beginning.
Infinity
You
War.
gotta see all
No,
of it. You gotta start at
don't
Iron
watch
Man.
it.
Yeah, no, watch it. Shut up, Banks. Shut up.
You good? Don't watch it.
Hey man, I don't know if I got that much time on my hands. You know what I'm saying? I might just have to. I don't know, just stay out the loop or some shit. I actually like watching movies the way I watch them now. It's just like I don't know nothing about it. I don't know who anybody is. You feel me? I want to go see what's that Scarlet Witch or what's that shit that just came out with Scarlett Johansson?
Oh, Black Widow. God
There
damn
we
it.
go. Scarlet Witch, Black Widow, tomato.
White woman.
You
I'm
feel
hoping
me?
you're gonna make white bitch like what movie with the white bitch who tries to do who thinks she's
Voodoo.
Asian, who thinks she's
I went to go see that like last month with my girl, and we was like, "Yo, this movie was alright." You know what I'm saying? Like,
No.
it's cool. I
It was terrible.
was like, "This nigga got gang of bitches fighting for him around the world." You feel me? But he's controlling them, using fucking
Yeah, you
mind
saw
tactics and
that.
manipulation.
You saw
And then
that
shit,
and then the Birdman hands. Like,
maybe I too
with like
would
an
like
army
to word.
of
I would
beautiful
love an
women
army to fight on my behalf. You know what I'm saying?
from every part of the world. We
that
got them
would
from
go
over
up.
here, from over there. Shit.
But
I
I
know
want my
Banks was
hoes.
thinking
Sure.
Banks
I
was
was, I
thinking
was
the
about to
same
say I
thing.
want my hoes from. First off, I do not. Whoever listens to this, I do not. When I say hoes, I really mean whores. You know what I'm saying? So,
I knew you were going there. I listened to you
Sluts.
for that long that I know you're like I said with Banks. I know your moves sometimes, even though you and I have potted only a handful of times. But listening to y'all since 2017, I know like, all right, duck that jab from Sky High because here it comes. Like,
hey man, that's the classic move. That's like my mellow
yeah,
jab step.
I was just about to say the mellow spin move. Like, damn, every time, damn.
It works. It never, you feel me? It's never let me down.
That just shows how phenomenal you are to get to have multi layers and multi moves. Again,
Amen.
then you guys are finally doing a best of episode, which I know you've talked about for the longest time. That shit is going to be amazing. I can tell just based off the content you guys have had for years. So that's going to be cool to see.
Yeah, man. KP, he's I think he's putting a best of episode together, probably just for next week because Cody's gonna be moving and Chris is
Yeah.
gonna be on vacation. So just to feed the streets, you might have like a best of, and then after that we got to figure out like the format of the show and how shit is gonna run because it's gonna it's gonna be different. It's like it's not the same when everybody's like on a computer and shit like that. So. It shouldn't be too hard to figure out, but it's gonna be a little different.
Yeah, truly. That's the real end of an era, not the bullshit Undertaker Triple H shit. The Cody Dre leaving to go to another state. But again, StreamYard, I mean, like I told Cal, because we said it live on the air earlier, that I've never met Banks in person. Again, you got to meet Banks in person before I did. And I've been doing a show with this man for almost a year in a couple of weeks.
Good. What was your first episode?
It's around September 25th, I believe, is when it was released. It's late September, so we're super close to a year in.
Damn, what are y'all gonna do for it? Didn't you say for like the year you want to pod for
We're doing
2,000, some shit like that?
we are going to do a 24. It has to. I think the longest episode was ever recorded was like 30 something hours. But one day we will. Maybe that's what we'll do at pod brunches, like 40 straight hours of podding. That way we can just cycle and guess like what we've been doing today. Because earlier we also, before you came on, we had Zell, BodyMore Bottles.
Shouts to
He
Zell.
came by. Yeah, for real. He came by because he was actually following the commentary track with watching the movie. But that would kind of be the goal, is just to have a new guest every hour or so to keep going. But obviously we would also need a shit ton of drugs, specifically cocaine, to keep moving for an extended period of time. But
just light skinned women.
that's
We all have our vices.
Yeah. But no, I've kind of hinted at it because that's how Banks and I started, by talking about John Cena. The 1 year anniversary will be an episode about John Cena, all facets: acting, the rap, CD, the matches, the promos. John Cena centric for the 1 year anniversary episode. The true GOAT of professional wrestling.
Hey, man, I'm looking forward to it. Oh, we got 200 coming up. I don't know what we're gonna do.
Yeah.
I gotta see when that shit. Like, I don't know. I think I'm gonna like do a vlog or some shit. You feel me?
Yeah,
I'm
you should.
Trying to take the game out, so I'm trying to switch it up. So I don't know. 200 might be different. I'm gonna think about it. I definitely gotta celebrate somehow, but I don't know. I'm gonna think about it. I'm gonna see. Yeah, you feel me? I might from now. Not, I don't even want to say from now on, but I will be doing I'm about to do like a podcast tour where y'all gonna see me on a lot, just randomly on podcasts. Some podcasts I might not have like no reason being there. You feel me? I don't watch comic books. You feel me? I don't watch comics or read comics, but I might be on the black variant. You know what I'm saying? I might. Who knows? I might pop up anyway. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, you're going to be on. I think you just told us that you're going to be on Bruce Springsteen and Barack Obama's podcast, right?
100%. Discussing foreign policy.
Foreign policy and Born in the USA.
Feel me? I'm going on Obama podcast to talk about how the virus is made in China.
Oh, no. And on that note, where can they find you?
Shouts out to Shang.
No, you son of a bitch.
Oh,
come on.
Anyways, you can find me on Twitter, Instagram at skyhigheph, the blackannouncetable on Instagram. blackannouncetable on Twitter, patreon.com/blackannouncetable if you want to find some extra content. F9 was a terrible movie. If I had more hands, I'll give it 4 thumbs down. David,
and don't forget,
you guys are incredible. Thank you for having me.
Oh, appreciate it. But stay tuned because you guys just had merch drop. So future merch drops, stay tuned. Because I think anyone that listens to us definitely listens to y'all.
I'm trying to get some hoodies out. I got a new design on the way, so I want to get some hoodies out by like November. So if I could get that to pop off, that would be great. The first batch of merch did well too. I was happy about it. So second batch is about to go up. Stay tuned. Davis, you got to return to the Discord. It's been highly
here we go. Here we go. It took CM Punk 7 years to come back to wrestling. Yo got 6 years left.
Hey, man.
What's a Discord? That don't exist.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. Like, hey.
Yeah, all right. They try to run me out my own space. Fuck out of here. Nigga, I made this shit.
Hey, it's been happening.
Guys
have been running their own companies and shit. It's happened.
Hey, man. Nah, me, I stand my ground. You feel me? 10 toes.
No.
Yeah.
Shit, sorry, it's just my mic. But yeah, Eve, thanks for stopping by. We'll let you go. Peace.
All right, champion. Peace.
All right, bro, y'all be good.
All right, and before we wrap it up, we'll just finish the note on CLB. We'll probably be reviewing it next week. ain't views from the Six Pod, but Banks will do it because you're a good friend, you're a good podcasting partner. You know how much I've been looking forward to this album, and you have as well. Like you said, you have a Drake take that you've been wanting to get out once you heard about this album. So, and you like talking music in general, and we might be talking about more music if the rumors about Donda dropping the same day were true. Which I mean,
man, listen, bro, real quick about that, and then I want to actually talk about these two comments from JJ, who I think is Trucker Gamer. So, before we get up out of here,
ask him.
He listed right now. So, hey, JJ, if you are a Trucker Gamer, please say it. I don't want to say your government, even though it's here. So, real quick, I can give you the update about what I heard about this Donda release. First of all, we'll talk about it next week. How he really scared of this dude. He's really scared of Drake, bro.
Who's scared? Okay, I was like, who's scared of
yesterday? No. Kanye is petrified of Drake, as everybody should be. Unless you're Adele or Beyonce, you should be scared. I don't give a fuck if Drake released right now. The shit gonna go platinum within 2 days, if not a day. So
2 minutes.
Apparently the Kanye album, yeah, more than likely, because people were waiting on it. People talk about it every single day. Not a day goes by.
And I've been waiting. Talk about it. Joe Budden's thinking this. He's been waiting.
It's a Titan. I love that drop too. This is the Titan, the mulatto Titan. So with the Kanye album, apparently it was turned into DSPs yesterday. It was uploaded to the servers. It just hasn't released yet. This dude is petrified. His manager confirmed it. 2 other people in his camp confirmed that the album is in fact slated to release this weekend. It was supposed to come out last night. It might come out tonight. He just scared, bro. I don't give a fuck. Maybe he think Drake is just throwing out smoke like, oh, September 3rd. Like, yo.
So Kanye will like release right first. Now. Yeah. So like, oh, okay. I was about to say like, I know you're saying the Kanye thing doesn't matter because people are going to listen to Drake first because they're so fed up with Kanye, but like, it is a chess move being played by both sides. One's just more gun shy. Yeah,
he's scared. He's scared. He's like, yo, what if he just saying that just to throw me off? Either way, you gonna have to you don't have to. The thing is with him, he's so caught up in his mind that it's just like, bro, you a billionaire. If Rihanna ain't released no goddamn album in 5 years, bro, what makes you want to release an album? And the album don't even sound good. I'm gonna listen, but the shit kind of sound mid. Except for like 2 songs. Like, yo, just release it. You're gonna get your ass beat regardless. But he just scared, like, yo, what if I release the album right now and Drake release it? That's you caused this. So you're gonna have to take your ass whooping like a man. But I don't think Drake is worried about this dude because he know regardless, he gonna have the highest selling album of the year over Moneybagg Yo. Yo, that's how bad this year. Here is Moneybagg Yo has the #1 highest selling album in rap that a grown man made. That ain't for me. I'm breaking up.
Yeah, you were breaking up for a second, but I can hear you now. You're just what you were saying that Moneybagg Yo has the highest selling rap album of the year so far. But again, that's
it's bad bitch music. You know what I mean? But they need the music. You feel me? The ones that be in Honda yelling, "Hey!"
Oh my!
So they need some tones too. So
hey,
yeah, with the fucked up tires, bro, because they be riding their goddamn brakes.
God, I hate that you talk this and think this way.
I lived 1,000,000 years.
Oh God! But no,
he who remains.
All right, let's say the album doesn't come out next Friday. 1, I will be upset. I will probably be more upset than Fast 9 because now you said something, and the second time, fool me once, shame on me. Fool me can't get fooled again. Like whatever George was just trying to say that one. But yeah, if it doesn't come out. Even though I think it will at this, even like it's just because, like you said, like what you're trying to say, like he hasn't confirmed it, and it's a weird way for him to do it with like Sports Center, even though I think like fucks with ESPN and all that, but like no one even on the Sports Center was like, I wonder what that was about. Like a WWE, like, oh, the lights are flashing. I wonder what that has to do with anything. You know, like. But it's just because again, the letters CLB.
It's just the fact that
they certainly ain't talking about Christian Cage showing up to ESPN,
which would be phenomenal. Yeah, I think I was
would be like
before. They got his highlights on ESPN. That'd be crazy. Just real quick, not to cut you off.
How they're both Canadian, though. Both CLBs are Canadian. Jay Riso and Aubrey Graham.
Change it to CLA, the creepy little A's, whatever they say. A or whatever.
I know they say it's A like EHHH. I think A. Oh,
I don't know. We need to ask
Avery.
Damn, that sounds like Josh.
Oh, come on. Well, he should be able to confirm this release or not. Get him on the phone. We have an OVO insider.
Next week, I will tell him to tell us everything about
that
the process
would be phenomenal.
Making this album.
I wish we could legit call him right now and have him answer and be like, Josh, we need you to confirm something. What's up? Is the album coming out next Friday? Man, fuck you. I'm not partying next door. Stop saying. I'm not from Toronto. I'm from Kendall.
I could do it. I could do it, but it's probably gonna take a minute.
Yeah, it's all right. We're almost running our normal time anyway. But he's gonna be like, man, fuck you, like the.
Oh no, that's gonna be hilarious when he hear this.
But like you said, it's because it's. And this is what you wanted with the Spider-Man thing, too. It's funny how they synced up because, like you said, with Spider-Man, they should have just went in cold. No trailer, no nothing. People are going to see this movie regardless, just based off the rumors of who's supposed to be in it and the fact that it's an MCU movie, a Spider-Man movie, all that. If the rumors are like it's going to unite all the universes of Spider-Man, you don't need a trailer that sells itself, is what you were saying. You're not wrong for saying that. I think that's the mindset Drake went into after postponing it in January, because he had already done Laugh Now, Cry Later, then the teaser in October, and then which led to us being in January. But like since then, nothing, not any single, or like there's been like 2 snippets. Also, he did drop the Scary Hours Pack 2, but that's its own thing. Just I think I was again to tide fans over because we're upset about the delay, and that's just shit he can do when doing 6 Pod. I'd always be like, Drake can just do it all. Because the world stops and pays attention, like you're saying next week. Even if Dawn drops, it's still going to be in second place in terms of priority.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, like you're saying, the rumors it's supposed to be more R&B based off the way he's been moving with the heart and the hair, the dinners at Dodger Stadium, the cover, which wasn't supposed to be the cover of like a woman hugging up on him, which. That is fire. Even the iconography, the imagery, the name, Certified Lover Boy, the rose, all of it, the hat with the lipstick on it. There will probably still be rap stuff because, like he said in that great Rap Radar interview, I just don't want to stick in one lane. When I can do it all, like why just hold myself to one? Like you're saying, it'll probably be like maybe 70% R&B and then 30% rap. That was kind of the whole thing. I think he should have did more specifically with Scorpion, was that the A side really should have been rap and the B side should have been R&B instead of it being mixed on each side.
Right. You're absolutely right. My last thought about this, and I mean, if you have more thoughts, of course you can, as we close out the episode. They doing all this shit, and Kendrick is just laughing, bro. That's the person they need to be scared of.
okay, because I don't fuck with Kendrick Lamar, and not like in like fuck him. It's just like after To Pimp a Butterfly, I'm like, this music isn't for me. I liked the stuff from Good Kid, Mad City, but like I didn't go and listen to Damn though. Maybe I should. But
you know what? I like what you just said, because we in the era now where the music quality is bad unless you find good quality. That everybody says, and you hear fam say it all the time. Shouts out to Where's Buffy. We in the era now where everybody be like, where everybody says either it's a classic or it's trash. The fact that you just said, "Hey, it's not for me," that's good enough. That's way more than enough.
well,
Like,
I don't
that's
want to
how
say
it is.
it's
Like,
trash because I legit like listen to it and I'm like, oh, I really don't know what's going on here. It does sound bad to me, but I'm also like, my ears aren't used to this. It's not like I want to. All right, if I listen, like when I heard like some stuff from like the J. Cole, KOD stuff, I'm like, oh, this just sounds bad compared to like 2014 Forest Hills Drive, which is like I like some of the songs on that. But yeah, I there are times where I fall into both the like the classic or trash or like this isn't for me. Like certain movies, I'm like, I thought it was bad, but also like maybe it isn't for me. I think it's what Cal was trying to say more like the Fast and Furious. Like again, he's like, yeah, these movies are what they are. Like, but the majority of them are bad, but also like I'm not the core audience. Like and that's where I was like, but you like horror movies, Cal. If I saw Candyman, I'm like, it's okay, but I don't like horror movies anyway. People would think like, oh, it wasn't good enough as a movie for him to like, oh, it was good. It's just I don't fuck with horror movies, so. That's always a tricky thing in our thing, and the
right,
fam
but
always
that's how
says
it
that's one of these
should.
great things.
That's how it should be. Like, bro, if it don't work for no, you good. I was just about to say that's exactly how it should be. If I don't like it, I don't like it. If I think it's cool, but it doesn't work for me, that's what it is. Like, I don't have to like everything somebody likes. Like, my ears specifically when it comes to music are very weird. Like, if people see what I listen to from time to time. If people see what I listen to, I literally listen to music based on exactly how I feel at that moment or what I feel like listening to. Or more so, it's just like I'm really feeling this album right now. I'm listening to it. Like I'm listening to West Side Gun's new album, and I'm not a huge West Side Gun fan, but my ears catches things different compared to everybody else. Like I'm a more technical guy. If I hear how your mixing is or how your beats are, I will listen to your entire album. That's why I'm a big fan of house music, more so because of the sound. Like, of course, when it comes to raps, I like lyricism, but then there be times where I'm fucking listening to Trippie Redd, Playboy Cardi. That's just how my ears are.
Yeah, it's a thing. I think with music more than anything because it can be like I've heard some Griselda and I'm like, and it's not like, oh, I think it's bad because it's not. It's just like I can see why the audience for this is like the real rap heads. And I can appreciate it, but it's just like I'm not going to keep listening because I would probably keep listening and appreciate it more and more if I like paid full attention to it. But I'm not walking away after like listening to 3-4 songs and then be like, oh, this is trash. It's just like, oh, so this is what they mean when the people who are like anti-Drake, not to say that all Griselda are anti-Drake, but like this is what they mean. Like that's not real rap what he's doing, and not the sense of like like what's real and what's not, but like the shit that they really like versus like what new rap is supposed to be. And that's always a tricky thing with the classic or trash is like what's real, what's not. Like what's truly authentic music and then what's pop music essentially.
Yeah. And also too, a lot of these you know what I mean, some of these fans, these rippity rap fans, you know what I mean, that like that real hip hop, some of them motherfuckers don't wash their ass and they wear like clothes with like weed leaves on it.
Yeah. I wasn't gonna go that far, but yeah, I do think
Some of them.
Kendrick, the song Kendrick was featured on dropped yesterday, and then he announced last week that he has a project coming out, right? And that will be his last with TDE. And then so he's putting everyone on notice while this whole Kanye Drake thing's happening. That's what you're trying to say. We're like, this is the one. Yeah. And do you fuck with Kendrick Lamar like that? I think you do, right?
It is. Yeah, he's one of my favorite artists ever. And not just because he from LA. It's just like, dude, like he legit has a body of work where he didn't. Me and my guy talk about this all the time. Like, yo, he didn't need to drop an album after Damn. He don't need to drop another album. Like, I still listen to Damn frequently, more so than To Pimp a Butterfly, even though To Pimp a Butterfly is one of my favorite albums ever. He doesn't need to release any more music. He got about 4 classics if you want to keep it a buck. Like, this is when classic take place, where it's just like your body of work still gets played to this day and it still sounds new. That's what a classic is. It stands the test of time. Outkast, AT is 25 years old as of yesterday. That's a classic because it still goes. Scorpion. I still listen to Scorpion. I can't call it a classic yet, but I still listen to Scorpion more than any album from his discography. So it might end up being a classic. But with Kendrick, yeah, absolutely. Out of all his albums, and I'm not saying the other, see, once again, I'm not saying the other albums are bad. If you say you like this, yeah, no, we'll talk about it next week. But
yeah, so we'll get to it next week if the album drops and be like, what do you think is? Because B-Dot saying like Drake doesn't have any classics, and I'm like, come on, B-Dot.
No, I understand that because I've heard people say that before, particularly people, because me and B-Dot are around the same age. He's a little older than me, obviously, but he might be 65, but that's neither here nor there.
But shouts to him.
So, yeah, always. So with Kendrick, this is the dude you want to be scared of, just because when he's in a certain mode, it shows, and we've gotten albums when he's in a certain mode. But now it's really scary because it's been 4 years. This person that really isn't really seen has been in quarantine as of last year. All these things have happened. This is the album people should be scared of because he's had a lot of time to think, as he said in that statement.
Well, I mean, he did do the Do You Not Count the Black Panther album?
That's phenomenal too, but it's not, you know what I mean? That's a various artist album.
But he did have a lot of control over it though, right?
I didn't even think about that. That shit is phenomenal. I still listen to the soundtrack. I'm like, yo, that's what I'm saying. This dude didn't need to come back. The fact that he's coming back 4 years later, he said, I had a lot of thoughts. This is my last album on TDE. Motherfuckers in trouble, bro.
I was about to say, I mean, not to keep going on and on, but like, is it really coming back if your whole thing is to like pick and choose when it's really the thing where like there are filmmakers who, again, like Quentin Tarantino doesn't put out a movie every 2 years. He waits, puts all his, effort into one, and that's it. Then that will come out. He'll start the process over again of like which idea am I going to do next. I think that's what Kendrick Lamar is. I think he thinks in more cinematic terms than more than a majority of artists. Even though Kanye does have like, look at all this imagery everywhere and all that, and like the music's supposed to sound like it can go with anything. But I think Kendrick Lamar thinks of it like, I'm putting everything into this one because it'll stand, like you said, as a classic, as a whole piece, not just stuff that'll get picked apart or like choose this but not that. This is like the outsider perspective of me viewing him.
No, you're right, because with him, it was last year they said apparently like, maybe it was a smokescreen. The album isn't coming out. He's probably not in that space. But I thought the opposite because, once again, somebody that seems to be an introvert, you don't see on social media, has a lot of time to think. See, that goes again to what I've said myself. I'm not trying to put myself over, but it goes to what I've been saying the past couple months or a year now, or more so the past couple months. You either got busy during this time, you figured out a way to get better, or you fucking sat online, you complain, and you want to be a superstar. And we've seen, because when you go on Twitter, motherfuckers is coming up with needless arguments to put themselves over where you not
Come
as good
on,
as you
don't get me
think you
started on
are.
it. Don't get me started on this. There are a few people. Come on, Banks. Don't get me started on this. Are you gonna talk about it? Or are you
No.
gonna
But
be about
it's
it?
not directed at anybody.
No. I mean,
Yeah, it's not.
I know
It's
what you mean,
not.
though. Yeah.
I know where you're going with it, but it's not a direct shot at anybody. It's just a point that you fucking do the work. So with somebody like this, he's had time to really sit. He's a family man now. Yo, a lot has. It seems to be in that statement. That's why I read it over and over. A lot has changed in his life, and for an artist, when you have the greatest gift ever, which he has I think a 2-year-old now. You have a child. He probably got married because I know he was with his fiance for years. So he probably got married before around the pandemic happened. Then the pandemic happened. You indoors. It's the person that's always in the studio. The TDE people, specifically J Rod, Schoolboy, and K that are always in the studio. They had time to work. They got kids. Now you got a new father being K-Dot. Y'all motherfuckers is in trouble. Because it's more so now, not about me, even though it probably wasn't before, it's to inspire. But now when you have a seat, even though I don't have any kids, I don't know if I'm ever going to have kids, but when you do, it seems to be, it's either going to make you become worse or better as a person. And for the most part, some of the worst people become better people when they have a kid. So with him, now it's like, all right, this is about my legacy. This is about my kid or kids to be and how they take in my music. Because what if something, God forbid, something happens to me?
Yeah,
And then
it
they can go
changes
back and
your
like, damn, my pops was a problem.
priorities. It drains it. From what I can see,
so,
like having kids, like drains your energy and changes your priorities for the worse, for worse or for better, because you are taking care of another human being, and then they are, taking care of you in a way. They're making you adapt, in certain ways. But like you said, he probably was like, if I don't do this now, when am I going to have the time? If he was spending all of last year making it, then he's like, now I'm saying I'm gonna, because who knows when the cycle will come again for me to put all of this effort that is needed into a project that I can be proud of. Which is that's always sucks when I feel bad. I hate a movie. When I hate, again, I hate saying that, like I hate Fast 9, because Justin Lin probably felt like he put a lot of work into that, coming back after all these years to be like, it's my first Fast movie in 6 years. It means a lot to come back and be a part of this, especially since I was like the one that, especially since he was the one that was like kick-started off with Tokyo Drift, then directed 4 straight. 3 straight after that. It was just like he shepherded that franchise, and to come back and make what I feel like is a lesser movie, a bad movie, when he probably felt like I put so much work into that, and to come up with something to be new and creative. Like it's the horrible thing when you look at it from the artist side, and for you and I who like to be critics, but also appreciate art because of our interest in like paying attention to the behind the scenes stuff in Hollywood and creating content like in a show like this. And people can say like, yeah, they can, I think, tell when you and I put a whole lot of work into something, which is like Fast Summer or certain ones in the past where we were just improv, and there was some greatness that came out of that. It's always a thing where creativity can happen like instantly, like, oh, I just thought of something, let's do it now. Or no, let's map it out completely and see how it goes.
Mm-hmm.
But
that's exactly how it works, being a creative. And I would think, absolutely. So yeah, I'll just say this, and I'll let you close this out. That's the same. That's how it works with great artists like him. And all of them are artists. I feel like, we'll have the Kanye talk next week just in case everything does release.
Well, he's like the ultimate artist. That's why.
But it now seems like it's a little bit different.
Yeah.
Yeah. And sometimes that could be your fall when you overthink it too much.
Mm-hmm.
Yes. It'll integrate next week. I won't hold this up too long. But yeah, just understand, like, if you got an idea, just do it. If you got, like David said, even though he wasn't saying this particularly, I'm kind of saying it. If you got an idea, do it. If you we have to map it out. Like, you know, Davis basically came up with the idea for Fast Summer, and he did probably all the work as it pertains to coming up with the idea and how we gonna do it. Because like I always tell people, I'm more so the technical guy, the audio guy, but that's how a collaboration works. Everybody doesn't need to do everything, because if you could do everything, there's no point of having anybody else on your team or being a yes man. So that's how it worked out. So if anybody wants to, you know, send your feedback in general, once again, at the BVD pod on Twitter, Banks versus Davis on YouTube, subscribe, like, tell a friend and tell a friend. Even if they don't like the Fast Summer, we about to get back to the other shits, but still check it out.
Basically, like what today was, we talked, you know, Spider-Man, Drake a little bit. It'll get going back to that. We'll talk about the old wrestling that we loved, other movies, other shows, other music. Again, like I said, and there was some stuff Fast Summer, like, oh, maybe we should have done more in depth. But almost like you said, like, oh, I don't want to put too much on, because like the basic idea, it's so simple. You and I talk Fast and Furious because we both love it, and it just lined up with like F9's coming out. By the time we get to the point where like we'll be able to talk about all of them in order, it just, I think you kind of need a little bit of help. I'm not saying God, because again, I'm not a religious man, but I believe in like the universe and fate. And this happened again almost a year into us doing the show, and that was kind of the goal. I think early on when you and I linked up was like, we're going to talk about Fast and Furious one day, and not just like bits and pieces. We're going to give it the proper treatment, and I felt like we did. Even though there was always like, man, should we do? Man, we could have gone on that a little bit longer. Like, but that's what the podcast is for. We'll probably be around another year, hopefully. But like Banks said, that's where you can follow us. Follow him on Twitter at BanksNoRest2, Instagram BanksNoRest2 as well. Gotta give this man his flowers, his props, because again, even though he doesn't want to put himself over, he needs to be put over every once in a while. Even Mick Foley had to be world champion for 2 weeks. But you can follow me on Twitter.
BVD pod. Go follow me there.
Where he's
Black
blocking
Rasslin.
people.
Go follow Dave there at Davis, aka Drip. Go follow him there.
Yeah, that's where you can follow me on Twitter, Instagram, daviscoltondc. Again, on the pod Twitter, we're just doing crazy shit. I'm just dropping the title of the episode with like some random sound bites. But are you ready for some poetry, motherfuckers? That's what we're calling the episode, even though we didn't even get to say it. But that's what we're calling it.
In the context, we kind of did talk about poetry towards the end, so yeah, that works.
Oh, you know, true. Kendrick Lamar, he won the Pulitzer for essentially poetry, right?
Yeah, that's not do this. Honest to God, true. We didn't need a new album, bro. Like, what is there for him to do? He won a Grammy.
Well, you could say that, like,
he won the Pulitzer Award. It's like, bro, like.
Like what? Because it's not my lane. But like, why did Nas have an album a couple weeks ago? Like, you come a point where you have something to say, or you're revitalized,
and to show that you're better than Jay-Z,
or to prove something. Yes, you know. On that note,
because Jay-Z be tricky, y'all.
Okay, here we go. Peace.